Hey guys. Hey Purple Knights. Oh, thank you. Hi Gabby. Shalima. Hey Blanca. It's good to see everyone. Hi. Hey. What's everybody up to today? Hey Chris. So you guys following all the drama today? What's going on, right? Hey lady. So yeah, there's a lot going on today in the YouTubes. Studying. Running a bath. Nope, trying to stay warm. It's cold out. I know, we have a lot of snow here too. Yeah. Oh, Southern, I'm going to make you a mod. I promised you I would, so now you're a mod. So next time you comment, you should see the wrench. Nice. Yeah, I made you a mod too. Yeah, right? What was that about? Did you guys, probably gonna, my computer is like busted, so I'm gonna have to have you guys here recording rather than watch a video. But, did you guys see the video at the protests of the protests at the house that Don was working at? The video that Don took? Oh, I'm glad you're here, Frosty. You're welcome. Yeah, 15 here. 15 tonight. Oh, you missed a lot. Well, not of this live, but today if you weren't watching YouTube. Her laying on the car. Yeah. I've seen that video, yeah. The phone call to the cops. Did you hear what she said? It was Benny's. I'm gonna, for those that didn't see it, I can play the recording, but if you want to see it, I put the link in my description. Yeah, it's on his page. Mm-hmm. Hearing different things. One of his friends did say that he was fired indefinitely, but then another friend had said that it wasn't true. So I don't know if Don's boss said, "Hey, I'm going to let you go," and he thought, like, "I'm done, I'm fired." Maybe he misunderstood, or, you know, the boss meant, "You're leaving, you're done, you can't do this." It's not cold where you are? Oh, you're drinking coffee outside in the cold. Oh, hey, Matt. Where was he? Saw Candus driving the Subaru. I thought they had looked it up. Yeah, I thought so too, but I guess it might have just been another rumor, right? You're good. Southern. I love you, Southern. Yeah. $17? Yeah. It's supposed to get down to 15 here. Just reading your guys' comments and then we'll get into it. Don and Candace probably just want donation sent to them, that's all. Maybe. Oops, sorry. The whole thing is just show. Yeah. Hi, Nina. Can't sit on the other channel. Yeah. Okay, so he didn't lose his job indefinitely. Hi, Amber. Thank you. Yeah. Not gonna lie, I was following their protests, but they have gone the wrong direction. I don't support that. Yeah, a lot of people say that. The cases are most by MGO and crew. Yep. Hi, Chemistry Queen. Yeah, ready for flip flops. Yeah, so tonight I just wanted to ask you guys about what's been going on in this case that you've noticed so far. And I promise you by the end of this, I'm going to tell you why I'm asking this question. So what's going on with this case that you guys noticed that really perks your ears, opens your eyes, stuff like that, you know? And then we'll talk about it. We're getting there, Amber. Okay, that's fine. Good night. People coming out of the woodwork for money. So a lot of drama in the tubes, right? A whole bunch of drama. And if you guys notice, I did put a link in the comments so that if anybody wants to come up, you're more than welcome. What did Frosty say? I'm sorry, guys. My Chat is jumping. So she said, what do they wish to accomplish? I think their intention is to, put some pressure on the police, on the community, on Don and Candus. I think that's what their intentions are or were, you know. But at this point, I don't know if that's working. All the sick and twisted people making money off of Sweet Summer. Yeah. There's a lot of drama going on in the YouTubes. People making videos. Just a lot of bashing of other people. Fights between creators. Crazy, right? And I mean, the main focus, we all know, is Summer, but she is getting not that much attention lately, right? I don't see her getting much attention in this case. I see a lot of he said, she said. I see a lot of, oh, get this, get this angle, get that angle. Let's go here. Let's interview this person. This creator said this thing about this person and this and that, it's a lot of, it's drama, and I mean, that's what some viewers like, and some viewers like facts, right? Now, I have another question for you guys, okay? You guys ready? Hold on, what's this real quick? I feel like it's all a game of telephone, no real facts, exactly. All secondhand mixed information, regurgitated by everyone. Yeah. All the lies, even the ones that are there to help, are lying. One will post a video and the next will go live and lie about something that we all saw truth of in the video. Exactly. And sometimes even in the same video, same breath. Excuse me. They think they're going to smoke them out with the pressure. It will just come out and tell us where someone is. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. If anything, they're going to do like what they did today and call the police. There hasn't been any new information or facts on the case in months. Now it's just about the drunken housewives of YouTube, right? Too much BS between creators. It's taking away from this case. Yeah, it is. I believe everyone should come together, and try to figure this whole thing out. It's got to be ridiculous. I think people tuning out. Yeah. I've seen a thumbnail somewhere that Don lost his job, or was that fake? I can't recall where I saw it. Yeah, we don't even know, because one of his friends is saying it was real, one's saying it was fake. So, Scott H, go up there. You always have very interesting thoughts. You had before you got beamed up yesterday. Maybe he'll come up. Who knows? Anybody can come up. Whatever you guys want to do. But, okay, I have a question for you guys. I want to say it before I get sucked back into these comments. So, the question I have for you guys is, what facts do you know about this case? What are some facts that you know? I just want you to fill up the comments with facts. I'm just going to kick back now, wait on some arrests to be made from TikTok. It's coming, trust me. Yeah. Okay, fact. And let's do this. Put hashtag fact and then put the fact. Summer is missing. MGL's butt is going to grow to 6 figures if she doesn't stop eating every 10 minutes. Is that a fact, lady? Summer is gone. So we have 2. Summer is gone. None. Summer is gone. 3, 4. It is kind of hard, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. Only one real fact we know, that Summer was last seen on June 15th by outside people and reported missing hours later. Yeah? So here's a new one. Sorry. Anything jumped. Oh, here it is. Footprints found. Is that a fact? Because I keep hearing when I ask people if it was a fact or not, and I can't get a straight answer. They didn't process the vehicles because Candus left. Is that a fact? I think it is a fact. Summer is missing. Another one. Don and Candus drank, right? H was with Candus that day, yep. Since law enforcement dogs didn't detect death, I think it's factual she left the property alive. That is the best comment, right? The law enforcement dogs didn't detect death. So there is a real possibility that she was either taken off the property by somebody who was known, or she walked off the property. Good job, Nita. Awesome, awesome. That's true. Yep. Yes. No one can tell time. Another fact, she's gone. Yep. Candus and Don had 9 kids, and they have 0 now. That is a fact. Let's just try to, I just want to know facts about, that is about the case, kind of, but I want to know facts about Summer's case, like her disappearance, if we know any. I just want to see how many we can get, because so far, there's only been a couple, right? She started the footprint story. So we don't even know if that's fact, right? Yes, here's a fact. Candus was the last person who saw Summer. Nobody in this case is credible, so we literally have no idea what's even factual. There you go. Right? The only facts that we really have are that Summer is missing. The dogs detected no death. The parents occasionally lie. Right? But there's no actual facts, like evidence facts. You know what I mean? There's nothing. And these, like, facts like this, boys were removed from their home. These are facts surrounding the case, but these aren't actual facts of the case. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to Summer? Can we say for sure? Yep, I remember that. Let's see, should we trade it in for some conscious? Stop, Hakuna. True. Those kids lived in a whole trap house, yeah. And I mean, like I said, all of these facts that we have, they surround the case. You know what I mean? We don't know what happened this summer. We don't know how she left the property. We don't know where she is. There's no evidence that anything of anything. The only evidence we have are the dogs that sniffed her out. They sniffed her scent, but that she wasn't dead, that she wasn't deceased at the time that she went off the property. So yeah, she's 5 years old. Pretty sad to actually see how little facts there are after almost 7 months, right? I mean, here, we watch these cases of missing children or, missing adults, and we see all these different facts, the camera footage, footprints, fingerprints, blood, the last person they were with, which, we have that fact, but the last person they were with. And it pretty much, any sleuth, detective, police officer can follow that trail and in the end, most likely find that child or adult. In this case, 7 months later, and we're still at the beginning. We don't know anything. Isn't it sad? Hi, Angie. We don't. We have no idea. Okay, Blanca. Right. We don't have proof of anything. I mean, people say this is the type of parents that, it's all hearsay. These are the type of parents that Don and Candus are. This is what happened on the hilltop. This is what the kids went through. This is, this is this and that is that. She did this, he did that, And then there's people, and I do it too. We speculate. We speculate on what happened because we don't have very many facts. There's tons of different facts, or not facts. There's tons of different outcomes in our heads, right? Yes, that's a fact. Yeah. Jody Sue did not start the footprint story. It was another neighbor on Facebook months ago. This his property law enforcement searched on the 19th of June. I told him it was a bad idea posting it on Facebook. Really? Oh yeah, I think I remember that. The guy, yeah. And then he just like fell off after that. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He deleted his post. Nope, nobody knows. They said today they're staying until Don's court date. That's another month away. So they're staying for a month? I don't think so. They're lying. Maybe they're going to come back. I don't know. News 10 reported that and was never corrected. If it was wrong, like her age and clothes description was correct. Summer's been seen walking down beach Ben Hill Road at 7 p.m. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times the news will really not put all the facts, and we don't know what's going on. Because one news station can say one thing and another will say another. The only facts we have are what's been reported by Ellie and what really has, Even they don't have all the facts. Or, yeah, I mean, obviously they do, but they're not telling us, Media was reporting the wrong missing date. Some said 15, some others said 16, right? Exactly. Hi. Can you hear me? Oh, I hear you. Can you hear me? You may have to turn up the volume in your computer settings. The only credible sightings are people from Sonic and Walgreens. Yeah. And that was before she went missing. Yeah. She did. Yeah, I remember that. Sorry, guys.
I can't hear anything.
Here. You can't hear me?
Oh, I don't know what's happening.
Do you want to drop and then come back up? Wait, hold on. Okay, I think he'll be back up. Okay. Law enforcement isn't giving the real facts because the case got so large and it risks their evidence if it goes to trial. Yes, that's true. That is true. I wish they could, yeah, the way that the case is, yeah. I wish they could, but that does sound about right. We don't know if CW was the last person to see her. From what we do know, though, she was the last person to see her. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys, sorry. My daughter is going to bed soon, so. But just hoping to get the reward money. EHB made a comment about BK wanting that reward money, and he's not getting it, almost as if she was implying they were going to get it. Zipping. I don't think any YouTuber is going to get that reward money, to be honest. Right? I don't think that's going to happen. You guys can't hear me? All right, hold on one second. Okay, guys. Is that better? I think I'm having issues with my internet. Hold on 1 second.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Hold on 1 second, because
Sorry, I
I'm
got like
trying.
three
I don't have like.
streams going on here. And earbuds.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to like fix everything. Do I still feel here? Like, do you guys still hear me like choppy? Okay, I think I got it. Okay. All right, better sound now. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, great. So what's up, Levin?
Nothing, just doing some researching.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not finding many facts in this case. You know.
Well, the facts were done
You think
early
the
on.
case is gonna
Facts were done early on.
Yeah.
And it's just
Mhm.
been a shit show ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just seems like this whole case is just being hidden by drama, you know? Do you agree?
Yes. So can
Italian go ahead.
here, I'm gonna go on camera. Can I just say
Okay.
one thing? Because I just want to clear what is going on. Can I do that here or no?
Sure.
Well,
Yeah, of course.
Gigi Griff, whoever it is, don't come after Jay Marie. She has nothing to do with it. You people need to do your research. There's a whole ring. I have the whole ring. You guys need to stop. And I am not Chris Larson. I'm Levi D. And you guys need to stop. That's it.
Have they said anything? Hold on
No,
1
they're
second.
doing videos after videos after videos on me, and I'm done with them. I did one video, and that's all I'm going to do. If they want me to do more, I'm 10 steps ahead of them. So if they want more to come out, I can do more on every single player that there is. But I'm done.
Yeah.
This is the last time I'll talk about it. That's it. I'm done.
Italia wants to know anything new.
Anything new? Well, not that I've seen there. I don't know. The whole thing has become a shit show. We need them to be iced out, not to be like provoked.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, can you just talk for a few minutes?
Sorry. Oh, I got full screen. She went bye bye. I hear knocking. Yeah. What do you guys want to know? I see there's a lot of people in chat. What do you want to know? Oh, here, she's back now. I don't know anything new in the case. There's not going to be anything. I do know that certain creators are still working with a certain somebody that is on the billboard scam, and I have known that for a while. I do know certain people are bashing certain people that want to come back to YouTube that are disappointed, that are heartbroken, that can't trust anybody. Um, there's a lot of false narratives out there,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I'm tired of it. But whatever, if that's what you got to spend your life on is me, then go ahead and do it because you ain't gonna get nowhere.
Some unsolved Barb says, "What's your theory, Levin?"
What's my theory? Well, so you gotta watch my videos. I stopped for months. People don't understand this. So I stopped for months, and the reason was is because I'm not gonna exploit this child, and um, all the haters that are out there that are watching, because I know they're watching right now. Um, I stopped for months because there was a little clip that Jay for Justice played
Mm-hmm.
that she's totally fine with me talking about her. Me and her get along great. And Jazz for Justice played a little thing where Don said that Summer would always run down the driveway to come get candy from the car every single day that he was coming home. I shouldn't say
Yeah.
every single day. I should just say that when she was coming home. And so if anybody has a 5-year-old that's out there, you will all know, or has had kids that aren't 5 right now, you'll all know that if somebody stood by the camper and pointed out a red car that was coming up the driveway or coming to like down the road, and he pointed out, "Oh, daddy's home. Oh, daddy's home." Well, was that what's the sign? So my thing is this. So a neighbor
Mm-hmm.
claims on YouTube she saw a red vehicle in the driveway. It was rare, odd, and and um, then you have the testimony of somebody that has seen um her talk or Don talk about Summer coming running down for candy. So 2 and 2 make 4.
Mm-hmm.
So how convenient that somebody has a red vehicle.
Right.
Mommy says, "Hey, daddy's coming home. Look, there he is in a
Mm-hmm.
car." Summer goes running down the driveway, out the back door, out just exactly how they say the story goes,
Mm-hmm.
minus ending of the flowers, how
Right.
they say. But she comes running down the driveway, and that's the last anybody's seen of her. And the red truck, well, do your research. There's a lot of red trucks in the area, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
red Subaru or Toyota Tacoma
Tacomas.
in
Mm-hmm.
the area, a lot. Um, the father used to own one at one time, but that's irrelevant because that's been long gone and sold. But there's a lot of them. But I honestly, it doesn't have to be a red Tacoma. It just has to be a red car.
Yeah.
And it could have been dad's car, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It could have been anybody with a red vehicle. Um, I just I stopped at that moment. The truth tells there's so here. let me tell you a little bit about me. I
Okay.
grew up in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. So we live on 11 acres in the middle of nowhere, just like they are. You understand their mind frame. You understand where they're at. You understand that people just don't come there. They just aren't there.
Mhm.
So my point is, I grew. I had to drive. I had to drive 45 minutes to get McDonald's.
Yeah.
So don't say that I don't know what I'm talking about. But if a red vehicle pulls up into my driveway, I know who they are.
Right.
If I don't, I'm shooting at them.
Exactly.
Like it's like bye bye. Like see you later or pop out. One of the two.
Mhm.
So if you read Tennessee's laws, I guess obviously up there in the holler they don't play around. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true,
I
but
don't think that's true either, considering that the
You
protesters
can
were
go
there.
you can go protest right up on there, and nobody's threatening you with a gun. People
Right.
are threatening you to stay off their property, but I don't think
Mhm.
they're genuinely bad people that live around them. They all
Exactly.
seem like good people.
Mhm.
Um, that's the problem. Is 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 the YouTube world, the not just the YouTube world, like people are making, well, it's the YouTube world, but they're making it out to that like you just don't come up in our holler and you just don't do this or you just don't do that. Well, there's protesters there. They ain't really protesters. They're people there trying to find somewhere, but at the same time, I don't support them. I've membered to their channels or whatever. I want the information that they're giving, whether it be bad or good.
Right.
So don't get me wrong. I belong to their channels. I am a member. I want to see the back door information and I want to see the front door information. Not because I like them, not because I am supporting them. It's because I just like Jay Marie is. I'm out here searching for this little girl, and I'm nowhere close to there. And anybody that thinks I'm Chris Larson, you you might want to put on a tinfoil hat. I don't know.
Right. Exactly.
You know, my whole purpose of my YouTube channel was is to show the ugly, and I have done a good job of it. I've tried to keep my stuff off of my Levitt channel. Yeah, I've gone on panels. Yeah, am I not strictly liking what I said or what I did or anything on there? Well, it had to be done. And
Mhm.
I don't own it. I own it, but it's not me. Um, I just get tired of people that are ugly, and um, I don't support ugly people. Never will, never have. Um, I grew up with no father in my age. I My father died when I was 2, so
I'm
that's not
sorry.
my character. No, you don't have to be sorry. It is what it is. I have a stepfather, but the thing is my mom has always taught me that you don't treat anybody how you don't want to be treated. So
Exactly.
these other channels are treating me currently, and they're showing me how they want to be treated. So I sit back, and you know as well as I do, I'm sitting back, watching. I'm
Yep.
20 steps ahead of all of you. I have boots on the ground. I've had them for a long time. I have researchers, same boots on the ground that are researchers in the area, same ones that are calling the fraud, calling this, calling that. Um, I have them, they agree 100% with me, and I I'm not gonna. I early on I judged Don and Candace. I don't know. I'm gonna put it out
Right.
there. I don't know.
Yeah. And like I
And
said, there's a lot of rumors going around and not enough facts. So we don't know 100% what's going
well,
on.
I'll tell you one thing. There is no way that she went down those stairs, got taken by somebody that was sitting there waiting, and ran out
Hmm.
that basement door. Because
Unless the
what?
person was known.
No, what? Not through the downstairs door. I'll tell you that
Right.
because up until the actual police were there, there was a couch and a mattress up against the door. And why would that be? That's what I want to know.
Huh. Yeah.
Why would you have a mattress and uh and a couch placed up against the door that has a privacy glass, and according to all interviews, has never been taken down until Summer's gone missing,
Hmm.
according to certain characters and what we're dealing with. And that's what I want to know is why are you why are you waiting until now?
Right.
And the only reason you would put it is to keep people out. I mean, so how many people are you having visiting your place? I mean, I grew up in the country. I don't place a
Hmm.
mattress and a couch in front of my door. I
Yeah.
live out in the sticks now. I
Hmm.
If I walk outside my front door, there's no mattress out there. If I walk out my back door, there's no mattress or couch up against my stuff. The only reason you'd want to do it is to keep somebody out that you don't trust. And who's that
Right.
person? That's what I want to know. Who's the
Right.
person?
Hi, Six Up.
Hi guys, can
Hi.
you guys hear me?
A little bit. Yeah.
Maybe let me put in my
Oh,
earphones. I'm going to mute for a minute and I'll come right back.
I can hear you better now, actually.
Okay. What I wanted to bring up is a little bit of, I would say, um, I have a little bit more empathy for Don and Candace than I ever have now,
Mhm.
today.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of all the madness. And today I sat and thought about my own life. And at one time, I was a practicing drug addict
Hmm.
and I abused my children. Um, I wrecked my car one time and almost killed two of my children.
Wow.
Um, and I thought about it and I thought about what I've always thought it was. I always thought it's got to be an accident and they covered it up.
Yeah.
And even more today, I think that, and I think that with all the shit show, we call it, going on down there this last
Hmm.
few days, I really think that's what it is, guys. And what law enforcement is trying to find Summer. That's what they're trying to do. That's what we all want, right? We want her to come home, maybe not come home to Don and Candace, but come home and be laid to rest, because honestly, if anybody's really been following this, what do we think?
Right.
Right? She's
Right.
not here
Exactly.
anymore. And
Yeah.
there are people that love her. I've never seen so many people come out and love a child so much in my life.
Hmm.
And that's why it gets so dramatic, because
Yeah.
there's so many emotions. But today, when I watched everything going on, that's what I thought about. I put myself in their shoes for the first time. And I thought, you know what? They're sick, y'all. They are sick.
So,
We
so the question arises to me because I've been getting trolled as this person, that person, this person, that person, whoever it is, how it is, where it is. So, what are these people's motives? So, as viewers, as subscribers of anybody's channel, so you go over and you look at people that are sitting there running their mouth about somebody that is in the middle of trying to find a 5-year-old girl and you claim that you're a private investigator, you claim that you're this, you claim that you're that. You look up the credentials. There's no credentials on the internet. There's no credentials anywhere. You you are falsifying your stuff. And I'm not saying anybody here on panel is. I'm just speaking out
In
on,
general, yeah.
well, the people that are making the mess that's out there.
Hmm.
Like, you have one side that's making the mess that is out there harassing the family. What happens if the family has nothing to do with it, and it was the people that were surrounding that holler? What happens then?
Right.
What happens? I mean, um, you can't take it that far. And then what happens when it's the people, and it is what it is when that happens, but at the same time, I just drugs are involved, yeah, and I just I the thing is, I grew up in a small town in a rural area. Drugs were everywhere. It's you choose whether or not you want to do them, and you either pick A or you pick B. And I mean, I chose B, not A, and um, I don't know. But once you get involved with A, it's a bad deal all around.
there is a time in everybody's life though where you, like you just said, you can make a choice just like I did, and
Yep.
your life changes and things come around and you evolve. I don't think that Don and Candus are at that point or will be at that point. That's my opinion. All I'm saying is maybe we should have a little empathy for these people. And the only reason why I'm saying it is because Molly Golightly, Bullhorn Betty, Jonathan, whatever Riches, and Olivia are down there making fools out of
I
themselves and
Well, I want
everybody.
to know one thing, and I haven't done my research yet, but this was my next research move. Was this when was Don's, not his last arrest record, but like when was his last jail stint? So I'm not looking at when he got a DUI. I'm not looking at when him and Candace got into an altercation, or when him and anybody over there got into an altercation. When was his last like prison sentence? Because that plays a factor into everything. Because at some point, people change their lives, and I'm not sticking up for them. It's just I'm trying to understand the pattern and understand what is going on.
Hey, but
If
think
that
Right.
about
makes
it.
sense to
Think
people.
about it, guys. What they are doing down there has backfired on them. It has. People, I have not had empathy for these people this whole time. I followed this case from day one and I wanted them to cry. I still want them to be held accountable, but I just think that it's not the way to go, guys. Law
Mhm.
enforcement, if we know what we know, what do you think they know?
Exactly.
They know what's going on. They're trying to find that baby, and
Yep.
that's what's going on. Nobody's usually gets arrested right away when there's no body. And
Right.
I hate even saying body when we're talking about Summer, because I feel like she's our child now. That's
Yes.
the way I feel. We are
Hmm.
so invested in this. But these clowns down there are not. Their investment is their bank account. And that's it. And now they've made it's twisted. It's all convoluted and twisted. And I don't know. I think they fucked up. I do.
Well,
Yeah.
there's like, you ask your questions, and I'm gonna let it so that people can see me, so they can see my reaction. They can see me. So you can watch my eyes, you can watch my face. I just think that summer's being lost in all the shenanigans.
Yeah.
And poor Summer. And J. Marie, don't get mad at me. You guys want to see something? A true truth person that I adore. It's Chasing. And her name used to be Chasing Truth.
Mm-hmm.
She's not for everybody. But
I watch her.
I love that lady.
Yeah.
She'll be the first to admit if she's wrong. She'll be the first to admit that if somebody is wrong. She will be she like homes me in. Like,
Yeah.
I get so mad some days. I get so frustrated. I just don't understand what to do sometimes. Go
Mhm.
watch her stuff right now. Like, she's about this baby, not about
Yeah.
anything else, not about what's going on YouTube, not about what's going on with Don and Candus. It's about the baby. And yeah, Ernie Shells is probably going to take what I'm saying and twist it all around. You know what? I don't have time for Ernie Shells. He's in my past. I don't want anything to do with that dude. And he is. I'm not even going to say it here because Jim, I don't want you to be attacked. I'll do it on my own channel. But I don't know. I will say this. I was in Chris McDonough's interview room last night. I support him. I watch him. He's an older man, and he's worked thousands of homicides. He's worked thousands of missing people cases, and you all have to understand it.
Yeah, talk about somebody who's given this case respect. And how they talk about nobody's done anything for Summer but them. That's not true. We've been inside that home. We've seen inside them people's home.
Yeah. Yep. I watch Chris McDonough. I watch Chasing. All these people. There are a lot of people.
Yeah. There's a lot of people.
Yep.
Well, great. Gray Hughes does. So this look at Gray Hughes. So people that are out there, like Gray Hughes is a very good timeline person. I think that him and Chasing teamed up for it's allegedly or so mean allegedly or whatever. So if you haven't watched that, you should watch it because they show she's got her opinion, he has his, and at the same time, Gray Hughes has been around for a long time, like a long, long time. He's always been pinpointed on the maps. He knows how to run YouTube. He knows how to do his stuff. Just to watch some of the pinpointing, some of the facts, some of the stuff that he has. I just feel that we all need to go back and watch everything from the beginning. So there's truth to their lies. So I've been around meth addicts. I've been around that stuff. I grew up in a small town in the middle of nowhere where you could get the stuff to make all that stuff, and they all lie. And
hold on one second. Green
What?
Eyes. Who are you calling a piece of shit?
you know what? Green Eyes, bye. I'm done. I don't have
Who are they
YouTube.
talking
Hey,
to?
mod, just delete them because I'm tired of them coming into everybody's life. They do the same thing everywhere. Just delete them. And you know what? Whoever deletes them, I take the responsibility. Goodbye. That's it. We don't have time for your bullshit.
Yeah,
See,
I
and
don't
that's
want
what happens
hate.
every time.
Sorry, J. Marie, but we don't have time for that bullshit.
Okay. He's gone.
Sorry.
Or she. I don't know.
Well, I know whoever it is, fuck them. They're gone. They come into everybody's lives. They sit there and talk shit. If they want to come respectful, come respectful.
Look,
I mean, you
let
can
me
have your own
tell you
opinion
the
about
magic word.
anything and everything. You just have to be respectful.
That's the magic word. It's all about respect, folks. We're all adults here. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, Chris was down there. There's other creators that are going to go down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just because they go down there doesn't mean they're going to be doing the same thing. I just want everybody heads up. There's going to be people covering this case. And just because they're doing it doesn't mean they're doing it the same way.
Well, so I have some boots on the ground over there. So I know every move that's going on. I know a lot of things. So everybody thinks that, oh, Levi's a hacker. Oh, Levi can get in my back wall. No, you stupid people. I have people that are planted that are inside what you are doing because you're wrong, you're doing evil, and I'm no hacker by any means. I'm just smart enough to go talk to the local people. I'm smart enough to go talk to other creators. I'm smart enough to find out certain things and watch certain things on certain YouTube channels. And I'm smart enough not to post it like a dummy. And if you want to drag me, I'm your worst enemy. I live in the sticks now. I lived in the city for a while, but in Chicago, and I live in Illinois, south of Chicago. And no, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not Chris Larson. And I grew up in Northwest Iowa on a big, huge farm, and we raised cattle and stuff. And I ain't the one to mess with. My address is unlisted for a reason. So you people that think that you're so smart that I've helped uh, take visions away from other creators that were coming after you early on, and I used to help you, and now you're coming after me. Good luck. That's what I gotta say. And sorry, J. Marie,
No,
but
it's okay. I
but
wanted to ask you, do you have people searching?
I do.
Okay.
I also have a person that is a good friend of mine. We go back and forth with each other, and they're down there. They're local. They know all parties that are involved, and
Mm-hmm.
it's I'm here to help. I'm all wild cat's eye. You're very close to me. I go to Bourbonnais all the time. I do the circus there where the Halloween event is. That's funny. um. Anyways, they share with me a lot of info. So, like today, I saw a clip from like somebody that's like down there. Well, I have some insight of some people that are like down there. I don't, I don't do lives.
Yeah.
Well, I do them, but only when that's like, I only do them when people are messing around. So I'm not here to exploit this child. I'm here to help to, to I don't know how to explain it to people. So I'm here to fight the evil. So there's a lot of evil here. There's a lot of evil surrounded by this case. I'm not sticking up for the parents. I'm not involved in all of that. You know what I
Right.
am involved in though is knowing facts, knowing truth, knowing when a billboard's not going up because it is or it isn't, and that person still talks to people, several people that I'm associated with, and those people I will remain silent, and they'll never find out who they are. Just like the whole Gigi video that I just put out, that was done by the same association on the billboards with locals that just they're my people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a lot of stuff I just can't say, and I'm not
Hold
going
on, I
to.
think we lost six
Yeah,
up.
I think she fell off or went off, but I just the I guess like the locals have all the info,
Mm-hmm.
and you can only say so much. And I asked them, "You want me to put it out? You don't want me to put it out?" One suggested to do my 7 alibis. So I did my 7 alibis. I went to go upload it to YouTube and I got blocked. Like, so I'm a person that believes in gut feelings. And if it was blocked by YouTube, well, then somebody's watching and they don't want me to do it.
Right.
And I can put the 7 faces out there, but like, I don't know if that's right. I don't know when I've never been blocked by YouTube. Like, I've posted videos, I've uploaded videos. I did a video on like a private segment where I recorded, went to go upload it, and it got blocked. I tried like 200 times to get it to go out. Um, well, in my experience and in my life, uh, if something ain't meant to be, it ain't meant to be. So stop doing what ain't meant to be. And that's why I stopped. So, Jeremy, I'm not taking over your show. Do your thing. Your turn. No, your
Okay.
turn. I talked a lot. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just reading the comments here to see what everybody's saying. But yeah, with this case, I just figured today, with all the drama and everything going on, I was thinking we don't have very many facts in this case. And that's why there's a lot of drama and there's a lot of fighting. And,
But
this one knows this and
so
that one knows that. So it's just,
so J. Marie, I want to ask you a question. So I
sure.
want to know your thoughts because you are a critical thinker like I am. And
Mm-hmm.
I roll around with critical thinkers. So if you see me supporting a channel or I'm in a chat or I'm throwing somebody $10 or I'm throwing them $4, $5, whatever, I'm there because they're very good critical thinkers.
Right.
I won't throw money at anybody that's not. And
Mm-hmm.
here's my question. So you show up to Don's work, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get that? But none other than the interview you did last night. But how? So so you made it a point that you want to meet with him. He tells you he wants to meet you in an undisclosed location, no phones, no nothing. Well, you want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
I would have taken that meeting because maybe you would have found out where Summer is or what she was doing. And you know what? There's enough people and enough viewers and everything. Don wasn't going to do anything. You
Right.
know, if he was going to, there's a whole army out here that would have did something.
Yeah.
So if you report that Don wanted you to meet in an undisclosed location, like, hey dummy, maybe he would have told you some stuff that's really going on. That's
Mm-hmm.
there's obviously it's a bigger picture than we all see. And I I don't get it. I might
Right.
have to make a trip soon. I don't know, but
I think that in that case, I would have probably asked to bring somebody with me, and I probably would have worn a spy camera because they do have them, right?
Well, if you're not a smart person, so here's the difference between a spy camera with a good person and a spy camera with a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I agree wearing a spy camera into the church. I agree 100%. The problem I have with what they did, you don't release it.
Right.
So, like, you obtain that for your investigation. You turn it over to TBI. You don't say shit on YouTube. You don't show a video of little kids. You don't do any of that stuff.
Right.
And, like, if you want truth, you lost all credibility with any local that is down there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that was their plan. I don't know their theory. I don't know their strategy. But maybe it's going to happen. And they're doing good. I don't know yet. I don't have all the facts of what they're doing, how they're doing it, and what is going on. Are we all upset? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I threw the lady $100. I threw the lady $20 for a membership. Did I cancel it? Yeah. But am I saying for other people to cancel it? No. Am I saying that it's not helping summer? Well, for damn sure, maybe it will. We don't know. But by attacking the parents ain't going to help. Dang on, who are they going to talk to now?
Right.
They're going to shut up and continue to shut up. And I don't know. You have to use your head. And maybe there's a ploy behind the whole thing. Maybe they understand everything. And for 1 minute, I don't believe Don Wells is fired. That guy has some reasoning behind employing him.
Yeah, I don't think he would be fired just because of the protesters.
Well, if the guy fires him and Don Wells does not get locked up, he's fucked. Like, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. And if you don't fire him and something did happen, then other people could come after you. So there's like a double jeopardy kind of thing. Like, you're fucked if you do it and fucked if you don't.
Right.
So what do? You ignore. You, as a business owner, as myself, you ignore. You sit back. You watch. You're not going to just go to the job site and you're fired. That's not going to happen. You have to place certain things in effect to watch, film, see what is going on. I mean, in all theory to anybody and everybody, these parents could be innocent. Not with who took her, but with what happened. So, like, they may have their theories, they may have their thoughts of who did it, but I think somebody did it behind their back when they weren't looking.
Right.
Got jealous, I don't know. Too many moving parts for it to be like great. And I don't know. I listened to Josh as I went to sleep last night. I watched Chris's stuff. I don't know. Here's what I want to know. Chris lived all of his life in San Diego County. He grew up in San Diego. He only knows the city. That's what I want to know. So, and then here we have Josh. Gratitude to you, Josh. The lab 2.0. I love you. I love everything that you do. I'm not questioning you. I'm not saying anything about you. My thing is where have you lived? Have you lived in the city? Have you lived in the hills in California and that's it? Like, you need to understand what small town world is and the people that come from it. Because I grew up in Northwest Iowa. I'll tell you right now, meth capital probably of the world. Um, we have feeder cattle. We have 500 to 1,000 feeder cattle at a time, and we have 1,000 acres of land that we produce corn and beans on. So here's my question. If you don't live out in the rural area where there's access to ammonia anhydrous, which we used to use for our bales, and we used to leave the valve half open, so you would tarp the bales, you leave the valve half open. If you're driving down our gravel road on either side, you'd be able to stop, go take a coffee mug, take the ammonia anhydrous and fill it up and then go do your thing. Well, here's the thing, that's country living. And people don't
Yeah.
know how easy that is to do. I have both factors. So I grew up there, whatever. I moved to Chicago, surrounding areas, and I've lived out in Chicago and surrounding areas for 15 years. So I know city folks as well.
Yeah.
I know how they act, how it is, and I can relate to the small town little communities. You think that um, Elizabeth over at the market's going to talk about Jonathan over at the liquor store because he gave he gave Larry five things of liquor for a special deal of 25.99, and it really would have cost him $100. You think that those people out there are really watching that? No. That's what's so complicated about this case.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, a lot of people who follow true crime, when there's a case like this, not a lot of the people are from that area. So they kind of don't understand the area. It goes the same thing.
Hold on,
It
hold on.
goes,
Can I pause you for 1 second and keep your thought?
sure.
Hold on. People in chat, I'm not attacking Josh. I love Josh. I am a member of his channels, and I do donate to him. And I will tell you this: the only thing that I don't understand about him is I don't know where he grew up, and I don't know if he's a city boy and only a city boy, and I'm not judging him. And I'm not going against what his thoughts are. I have the same thoughts as him and exactly what happened according to his live last night. So the people that are trolls in this chat, and I will say for Team or J Marie, um, I don't have time for them to do this. I'm involved in a lot of different aspects of where I am and what I am doing. And I don't have time for trolls. I
Yeah.
don't want to put out that, oh, hey, look, this is Lizzie's IP. Lizzie's IP has nothing to do with anything. Her IP was of a place of business that will never get traced back to her. I didn't put out her real IP. The whole thing is a bullshit thing. She got scared over nothing. That's what I was trying to tell her. Go back, live your normal life. Leave us the fuck alone. That's it. So, all right, go ahead.
So,
No, back to your thought.
no, I know, but I was going to say, as far as the chat goes, I think the mods pretty much have it. The trolls, they control as long as they don't get too out of hand. If they do, then you can time them out. Don't block anybody. So what I was going to say is, you know, with a lot of these cases, whether it's in a rural area, a city, a suburb, you know, a lot of us aren't from either or area, you know, and we don't understand the dynamics of that case. I mean, and I think I was talking about this in another live that it's easier when you, or it might have even been this one, you know, when you have a case, a missing child case, and you're in, you know, a city or a suburb, and you have cameras, you have witnesses, you have all these different things that can lead police to follow the breadcrumbs. In a rural area, however, you know, like Ben Hill, hold on one second, guys. Okay. Am I echoing? Everything's good?
Well, are you? Hold on, you're good. You're good because I opened
Okay.
up the YouTube page so that I could comment in the comments because a couple of people are going nuts about the comments I made.
Okay, well, we're not going to look at the chat right now, okay?
No, we're good. Go ahead. Do your thing.
I have a few mods in there that are taking care of this.
Your mods are great, by the way.
So what I was going to say is, you know, in this type of case where there's, you know, the family's pretty much living in the middle of nowhere, it's like, you know, there's no cameras, there's no witnesses. If there are witnesses, they really didn't see much. You know what I mean? So it's hard to understand the dynamics when you're not there in certain situations, if you know what I mean. So, like, you know, well, like you were saying, you know, unless you're from that area, it's hard to figure it out. I think some people can most likely figure out what's going on, as far as why there aren't very many facts in this case.
Well,
but I've heard many people say that when they do go to that area, you really have to be there to see the depths of everything, you know?
Well, can I put the perspectives into like perspective? So I grew up on a farm. And so I lived on a gravel road. So there was a main road that was 4 miles outside of a town of 1,200 people. So you drive 4 miles. You get to an intersection and it's called da-da-da-da. And you're on a paved road. You make a left-hand turn and you're on a gravel road. Like literally they put gravel down. And you drive down the gravel. And I have a neighbor that's on that paved road. So if you would have went just a little bit, it'd be on that paved road. Well, so listen, neighbor on the paved road, right? So you drive down the gravel road 1 mile. There's no houses, no nothing. 1 mile. You make it right on my actual street. I used to live at the corner with my parents, my mother and my stepfather, and there was another house that was abandoned on the property, and then my grandparents' house. Then that was the whole farm. Well, my parents bought when you make that right turn. So the next, hold on, we'll go back. So when you turn off of the main road, you go down a whole mile, there's nobody. So then you come up to the 1st mile road. So it's like this. You make a right-hand turn, that's to our property. But if you would go straight, the next neighbor is a mile away.
Yeah.
In that direction. So when you come down my road, you make the right. And for years, the abandoned place that my parents live in now, which they fixed it all up. It's magnificent. It's beautiful. It used to be an old seed company, and they bought all the property. So when you make that right-hand turn, we had all the property on the one side. My parents and my grandfather bought all the property on the other side. So when you drive down the road, The only purpose is to go to my grandparents' house or my parents' house. That's it. If you're driving down that road, you better be a neighbor or you're getting clocked. Like, we know who you are, why you're driving down our road. And then
Right.
when you drive out into like another major road, we have a neighbor that's like 3/4 of a mile down the way on the actual pavement road. If you turn the other way, it's about 3 miles to the other way on that road. And then if you on the gravel road, if you drive down further, it's about 4 miles when you hit another neighbor. So we have neighbors, but they're 1 mile away. So I could scream in the middle of the night when the moon is out, when it's all bright. I could turn off my headlights. When it's all bright, I could scream bloody murder and nobody would hear me.
Right.
So
and I'm going through the chat right now, and Shannon just said the same thing. I'm trying to find here. She says, I was there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and couldn't even hear the protesters up there yelling at nothing. So, yeah, she's saying what you said, you can't hear anything.
Well,
I thought for sure.
Is how close is 125 Ben Hill Road? How close really is it? Yeah, we can look at it on a Google map, but if you look on a Google map at my parents' house and you look at Google Map, well, you look at Google Map where I live on 10 acres. So if you look on Google Map where I live, and then you look at the Google Map and you draw a line from me to my neighbor that has a helicopter, and then he flies in his helicopter all the time because he owns some businesses and he goes and checks them out. But the thing is this, I hear his helicopter, but if he pulled his car into his driveway, I would not hear it. That's the thing. And he's not that far from me, like probably 1/4 of a mile. And when you live in the country, it's a whole different thing. When you live in the city, you hear sirens, you hear all that stuff. So that's a whole different thing.
Right.
So I mean,
so
person like a mile away from you could really hear them on certain nights. On certain nights, you couldn't hear nothing. So
right. So Southern and Sassy says, when you live on a road like me, I hear everything and see everything. You're more aware in the country than in the city to me. And I agree. In the city, there's buildings, there's all this concrete and noise and everything away. So in the country, you're definitely more aware. Pointing a flare gun at a person, shooting a flare at them is also legal. I agree. So I saw Shannon was in the comments. I don't know if she's still here. If you want to come up, you're more than welcome. The neighbors heard them. Sorry, my cat is just flying right now. So yeah, the link to the panel is up at the top if anybody wants to come up. It's pinned to the top. It was wrong one. Hold on, guys. He says, and living in a holler like the Wells do, you're not going to have traffic from people passing through. Neighbors, they're visiting families and friends, and service workers are only ones to be in that holler.
Sorry, I booted myself. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Just hold on, we got Carrie coming up too.
Oh, Carrie, my love.
Don't you start rumors, Levin.
I know, but hold on. People need to understand who Carrie is. No, go ahead, Carrie. I'm not gonna do that to you.
No, I
Terry.
saw you up here. I saw Jay Marie up here by herself since you left her, so I thought I'd come
I
up here
know.
and keep her company.
No, but you're good people, so you're always welcome everywhere.
Well, I didn't like you until I saw your Steelers background, and now I think you're all right.
You're so full of shit.
Am I breaking up,
Your
guys?
No, you're
voice
good,
was very
Benjamin.
robotic for a little bit, and it sounded like I had you on like 2 speed. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm live.
Yeah. You know what? We're supposed to be having some weather here, and I think it's affecting the electronics.
Well, you sound good right now.
Yeah, so when
good.
I pause or mute my camera, it's like in like 5.0 instead of like 2.0. But it is what it is.
All right. I'm gonna be right back. Hold on one second,
You're
guys.
fine. You're good. Carrie, how are you?
I'm good. What were you guys talking about? The Josh thing? I didn't catch that.
I don't. So chat was going nuts. They're trying to start shit. Like,
Oh, okay. Never mind. Then I won't
support
start it
Josh.
again.
I am 100% with him. 100% with what he does, how he does it.
Who's
Where
Josh?
he is. Josh from the lab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
now I get it.
Dude, that dude is a cool dude.
Yeah, he is.
I don't personally talk to him. I have people that I talk to frequently that are mods of his. I respect everything that he does. I mean, there's a motive and everything that he does behind what he's doing. And he's a good person. I mean, he lived through a tragedy just as well as I did, and just as well as other people have. And,
Okay, I was just confused with what was. I didn't know what they were
talking
talking
shit in the chat now.
Oh, it wasn't too bad. It was only like 1 or 2 people. It wasn't bad at all.
No, I know. I can't pull up. For some reason, I got 3 screens up here, and every single screen is this screen, and I can't get it to undo it. Normally, I'd have chat on one, have the YouTube on the other, silent, and then the regular StreamYard. So,
Jay Marie, I don't know if you saw it, but Shannon said she was on the phone with Candus and she'd be right back.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't. She wants to come up. That's fine. If not, I don't want to push her for anything that
no.
we do. So.
And Frosty made me such a nice chicken pot pie today, and I did eat it in my igloo. Just if people are wondering, like, I'd really like to live in an igloo because that'd be really cool. I've never seen an igloo in my life, but that would be the best. A warm chicken pie in an igloo. That would be fantastic.
Southern and Sassy, Shannon was saying that when she was up on the hill that they couldn't hear the protesters down below.
Yeah, see, I live on 10 acres too, but in Florida it's flat land. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty, like, we're probably in the middle of the property, and I could probably hear them, but I've never lived in the mountains, so I couldn't tell you if you would be able to hear around there or not.
Well, so here's the fun thing. So I live on 10 acres, but I have neighbors on both sides. I can see their houses. When
me too.
When the sun is up, I can't see them. But at the same time, so when the wind's blowing from the west to the east, I can hear my neighbors from the west, but faint. When the wind is from the north, coming from the south, which would be from the north, would be from Lake Michigan, and it's pushing the wind real hard.
Yeah,
I can't hear anybody. But then there's some nights I hear the coyotes, I hear their dogs, I hear their music, I hear them in their house. Like it's like you go outside and you just can hear everything. And that's how it is in the middle of nowhere too. Like when I grew up on where my neighbors were like miles away from me, on certain nights when the air went, so here's my thing. When it rains, the molecules fall onto your car. So then, when you have like a night where there's not like you don't get anything on your car, there's no molecules in the air. So like COVID travels through the molecules, and there's a lot of molecules a lot of times. But then when there is none, you can hear people in their living rooms. You can hear people like in their basements. You can hear everything. But then there's
Yeah.
nights that the molecules are great and they're like combusting against each other, and like the humidity is high and you can't hear anything.
Right. And I think that's the thing too. It has to do, like what you said, it has to do with how the air is in the area on most nights and stuff like that. But yeah, for her not to hear them up on the hill, I mean, there's no I thought for sure they would be able to hear them because there's no leaves on the trees, you know, there's spaces in between. But yeah, she said that, and I remember hearing her say it, and then in another live too that they weren't able to hear anything up there,
Yeah.
even with the bullhorn.
Well, they had to have known they were up there shooting off the flare gun. I don't think they were shooting it at them. I think he shot it up in the
No.
air.
Yeah, I don't think he would shoot it at them.
I grew up with a potato gun, and then I made a potato gun in the city, and that's what you don't want to do in the city. In the country, it's that it is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I've taken a fertilizer and put like this much fertilizer in a 5-gallon bucket, and you take a M80, you put it in there, but then you put like a gas trail going back, like down the road, like a quarter of a mile. You light the gas trail and you let it go, and it just poof, like all over the place. He's not messing around with anything that's like dangerous, dangerous. That's what I'm saying. To a city person, you'd be like, oh my God. But to a country person, that's everyday life. I mean, now,
Yeah.
look at
I
Ryan
agree with
Upchurch and
I
what he
agree with
does. I
I
mean,
agree with the people in the chat. They're saying, you know, the neighbors obviously heard him down the street a little bit. I just don't know how they didn't hear them. Especially if
Yeah.
they shot a flare gun, they knew they were there. And then the neighbor came saying that his grandmother-in-law had heart palpitations because they were so loud. But Shannon could have been there when they weren't screaming as loud either, or they didn't have the bullhorn, or,
True.
you know.
Yeah. Joy, do you want to come up? She was up before and she dropped. I don't know what happened.
Is she gonna come up here and yell at me? Joy, don't yell at me. I love you.
I know. She is really nice. I talked to her
She
privately.
is. Yeah,
she's
she's
cool.
sweet.
oh, can I make one more statement?
She's gonna
Sure.
tell you guys that she can go up barefoot in the snow up that property.
Yep.
Well, the thing about the snow and no leaves and stuff like that, it makes it easier to search. So they were over there at the lake and falsified like what had gone on that day. So I live on 10 acres. I have woods behind me where there's a big group of deer that live there. Right now, I can go out my back door. It's nighttime. The moon is pretty bright tonight. I could probably go. So I have like 3 or 4 sheds that are like really long. And if I go walk up to where like my shooting range is, like I have like where I shoot guns all the time. I have people over, we shoot guns there, whatever. There's an embankment, and the embankment's probably like 6 or 7 foot tall, so we're not shooting into people's houses, but we shoot all the time. And if you go up that embankment and you just stand on there, I can see where the deer are laying and what they're doing. Like right now, I could see it live, and
Mm-hmm.
it's because it's winter. When the foliage is out there and stuff, I can't see them. I know they're there. It's just uh, they eat the corn, they eat the beans that are planted around me, and they're there. But like to be able to see the lake from the car, yeah, right now you can because there's no foliage. So I don't know. I just get upset because it's like I don't know. I get frustrated. I get mad because you're they're quote unquote looking for a 5-year-old girl, but you're pointing out all the bad things, and then you're over there like harassing the parents. I get it. You want them to flip out on you, and you're holding lock you up signs. Well, that's not the way you do it. It's not.
Right.
It's not. Brand laundry, fine. 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 They knew where their son was, and everybody knew that they knew where their son was. That's one thing. But at the same time, you didn't see thousands of people over there. You didn't see people marching. You didn't see this or that. You just, honest to God, if you do that in my neighborhood, we would have shot your ass.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised. And we don't ask questions. I'm surprised they didn't get shot. Honestly. You got shot at by a flare gun. Look at the neighbor that was so pissed at them. They were yelling, screaming for them to stay off their property. And I
Right.
don't know Tennessee law, but the Iowa law is you step 1 foot, that's it. But here in Illinois, where I live, I have internet. So Illinois is weird. So I have property laws where you step 1 foot into my house, you're done. That's it. But the other laws that I do have in Illinois is my public privacy, whether I have a record, whether I don't. It is illegal in the state of Illinois for you to display a record, for you to display my address, for you to display my previous address, for you to display any of that stuff. And that's not why I live in Illinois. It's just one of the perks of living in Illinois. So these people that want to go after me, want to do this, want to do that, I'm here to find a 5-year-old girl,
Mhm.
and that deserves better. I want her found. She ain't going back to her parents if she's found. I'll tell you that right now. That's the thing. They want this girl. The police want this girl found. They want her found alive. They they are hoping for the best but expecting the worst. And
Right.
if they find her alive, she ain't going back to those parents in a minute. Those parents will be locked up immediately if she's found.
No,
For
I
the
think
other stuff they've done.
as far as the protesters go, I think that they think, they have good intentions, and a lot of people on YouTube and in social media, there's a lot of 50-50 going on there with them. Some people are saying they're doing the right thing, some people disagree. And honestly, in my opinion, I think that they think these are the right things to do, but some of the things that they are doing are kind of unorthodox, in my
Is
opinion.
can I ask a question to chat? I don't know if he's still here, but can somebody reach out to Scott H? I have questions for him. Not about him personally, but about the location and about the terrain.
Yeah.
I have yet to collaborate with him on a panel, and I think all of us that are here, we respect him, including me.
Mhm.
I respect him. I just want to ask a couple questions, and his thoughts and theories are if I know some people personally that could reach out to him, but if somebody's here that like talks to him all the time, if he's in chat, please come up, buddy, because I just I'm not going to attack you, not going to say this or that about you and your channel, whatever.
Hold on one second. Okay. So I just got a text message, and Don has been fired from his place of employment. Earlier in the day, it was unclear and it wasn't confirmed, but it is confirmed now.
Wow.
I'm sorry I can't say who sent me the text message, but yeah, it's confirmed. Well, he dropped. Yeah.
Well, I want to say something about, I want to talk about that too, because I was going to ask if anybody knew that for sure yet. But, I live in Florida and we have a stand your ground law. I can't just shoot at someone on the street. I mean, they have to be in my yard, threatening my life. There has to be a cause. Like, I can't just shoot people. And like I said, we have a stand your ground. If someone comes into my house, absolutely. But if they're just on the street, you can't just shoot them. Like, I don't know. I just can't believe he lost his job. I think that's awful.
It
I
is
really,
awful.
because someone had said that he had to pay child support for the boys since they were in foster care. I wonder, do we know if that's true or not?
I don't understand that, and I think that just might be like a thing in Tennessee.
Yeah, that's what I was
Because
wondering.
where I am, once your kids are in state custody, it's the responsibility of the state to care for them.
Yeah, at 6 Up Media, no, I know they didn't, but I was just off of what Levin had said, was talking about it, and I was just trying to. Yeah, I never thought that he actually fired at them, but what Levitt was saying was if they come on your property, you can shoot them. But I think your life has to be in danger for that to happen.
Yeah. And I don't think with a flare gun, right? I mean, that would do some.
I don't know. I have a flare gun, but it's on my boat. Like, I don't just have one in my house for fun. I don't know who would just own.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess maybe like if they're get snowed in or I don't know. Maybe Tennessee's different. They have something to.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm letting. Okay, she's up. Hi.
Hey, I was just gonna say, when I was in active addiction, my children went into state custody for like 3 days before my mother got them. Now my mother she still has my son, and because she receives Medicaid, and I think it's just Medicaid she gets because she makes really good money. I still pay child support, and I had to pay for the week that they were in state's custody. As long as you still have rights, like they still have rights right now to see those boys. Now, if they lose those rights and they it's all gone and over with, and they take the kids away from them completely, then they won't have to pay child support. But as long as they are still their parents and they're still, as far as we know, trying to get them back, they're going to have to pay child support.
Are you in Tennessee also?
No, I lived in Kentucky. Now I live in Ohio, but that's
okay.
I know a lot of people that live all over, and it's usually like that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. In my state, it's not like that, but I could see some states they might do that, and I wonder why some states do that and some don't. We'll have to look into that.
I mean, Tennessee is not a very rich state, so I'm sure a lot of it is they need the money. They have these parents taking care of these children.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking that too, because like Connecticut, they have, it's a very rich state. So
and not only that, when they go on visitation with these boys, the way it was for me, the week that I had to go see the kids that way, I went twice, and each time I had to pay a family service worker to be there. So, and any classes I took, I paid for. So I don't know if they're doing all that they're supposed to do like I did, but if you do, you end up, you pay out quite a bit. So them not having a job right now.
That's going to mess things up. Wow.
For sure.
So hi, Shannon. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. So yeah, I saw your comments. So I just wanted to see if you wanted to come up and talk a little bit about your experience. So you were just up there on Ben Hill?
Yeah, I went up there Friday and I left. I didn't get home till early this morning.
Oh, okay. Wow. And you said that you didn't hear the protesters, or did you guys hear them like some nights and not, or some days and not other days? Because I don't know if you were listening, but we were just talking about how, like, you know, depending on the weather, maybe you can hear sometimes and not others.
Well, I think because they were down at the end of the driveway, and that driveway is so pitched that it blocked it, because the only reason we knew they were out there was their manager had come in the house, and he was walking the perimeter of the hill. He come in and he said, "Yep, they're down there at the hill," and we had to walk down by the school bus to be able to hear them. So I mean, halfway down the hill.
Yeah, because the school bus is facing not Beach Creek; it's facing the other way, right? Right down Ben Hill.
Yeah, it's facing Ben Hill. It's right next to what they're calling the dog trail.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
So it's about halfway down. When you look at the pictures of the driveway, it goes straight up, and then it pitches off to the right and to the left, and it makes that big loop that goes around the whole property.
Yeah.
You know, so typically you go up to the right because that's the easiest route to go.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon, I'm not trying to interrupt, but if I'm correct, just for the people in the chat, you were there when Benny was there, right?
I was, yeah.
Okay, just letting them know that's who you are.
Yeah.
I'm the one that, if you look at the videos, when they were at the bottom of the hill, they saw Benny's car, and then they saw my car, and then I was in the picture with Allie and Cam and Robin and all them.
Gotcha.
Now, is anyone paying the manager, or is he volunteering his time?
No, he's volunteering. He works with media in Kingsport anyway. He runs a website. And when he heard about everything that was going on, he had reached out to Robin. And then Robin had reached out to Don and Candus and asked, you know, this man wants to get a hold of you. Is it okay? And they agreed. And, you know, he's basically just keeping track of everything for the family. So that way when the boys come home and if Summer comes home, that they kind of have a summary of what happened throughout all of it.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Who? Shannon?
Yes.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Hey, so I want to know something. So I have locals that I speak with, and they've said nothing bad about him. But what I want to know is I grew up in a small town, knew nothing about politics, nothing about anything. I worked 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. on farm, raising the cattle, doing this and that on the farm. But then came to Chicago, and then all of a sudden worked for a company, which I, until they sold it, they took care of me. But at the same time, they were politically involved with the city of Chicago, with what was going on, and I had gathered a lot of info about being politically involved, and he's politically involved, correct?
Don, you mean?
No, not Don.
The manager.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really know. I mean, I've spoken to him. He's been up there both times I've been in there, but he's never spoken anything about anything like that.
Well,
and I didn't really make too much attempt to get to know him very well.
I know, but I have pictures. So he's a photographer, right? So Kingsport, or I have a friend, a very good friend of mine, shares interests with Scott H. Shares interest with a lot of locals. She's been involved in Summer State. She's a researcher. She's done a lot of stuff. And they did a calendar thing. I think it was in Kingsport or Rogersville, one of the two. There was a calendar thing, and this guy's a photographer and a media guy, right?
Yeah, I know of the media. I don't know of the photography.
Well, so when you go to his website, you can see, like, he takes pictures of certain stuff and this and that. Why wouldn't he put himself to be on a calendar in their local, like, calendars where everybody's going to see it, and like, take your business and move it to the next direction? And that's really odd to me. He had no, like, no interest in it at all. Didn't submit any pictures. I think my friend is on the September picture, or maybe it might be the October one. But one of the two, she took a lot of pictures. She was taking pictures of different stuff involving the case, but then she turned them in and was like, "These are great pictures." And she got into the calendar, and you have a media guy that would want to like take his business to the next level, but he didn't submit any pictures. And I'm not harping on him. I'm just, it's really strange if you have a videography company or a media company or a photography company. Why wouldn't you want to go on your local calendar? Like, if you're to grow your business, that's what you'd want to do. I'm a businessman. So that's what you would want to do.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about a calendar, or anything like that. Oh, hold on, I'm losing my AirPod.
You're fine. I had to restart my computer because it went wacko. So
So I don't know anything about a calendar or anything like that. I mean, I do know that he has made, just as the regular news has, he's submitted different things about Summer's case, but I would assume because he's not the owner, they're pretty picky about what they're allowed to release on there, and how often. If he were to make it all about Summer, then it wouldn't be what it was originally intended for. So
no,
that's
but
why he probably started that page that he's doing.
no. The page was there before Summer went missing. So he was a multimedia manager slash photographer slash choreographer for, like, if you were to have, let's say that me and Carrie, for example, and I adore Carrie and her husband. Let's say that me and Carrie were getting married and we're down in Tennessee. He would be the one, quote unquote, to reach out to get our wedding all planned out and like take our pictures and this or that. But
Right.
when there's a community calendar, when you want to promote your business, you don't even submit one picture to it. And don't use Summer as an excuse, because you can't use that as an excuse, because you have to keep your business separate from Summer's dates. You have to grow your business at the same time, and that's where people make mistakes. Is you want to use the Summer as an excuse? Well, is your business really legit? I don't know, and that's where I question him. I'm not questioning him because of his motives or because of his facts. I'm questioning him because of his business, not like. And I'm not trying to go hard on him, but it's really odd. That's, if I was a photographer, like, I take good pictures, but I don't claim myself as a photographer. Like, I share in Discord a lot of my pictures. I have pictures of my land. I have pictures of this or that, and and if I was promoting a business, what better way than um, here, Tim Mullins? Well, they don't have to put photographer because everybody in the area knows he's a photographer and a multimedia guy. So why wouldn't you enter a picture into the thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could always put that on the Find Summer Wells website too, because
No, I already know. I already know the answer to my question. I'm picking the brains of somebody that is local, somebody that knows what's going on there. And
Well, she's not local. She's just
she's
a
not
friend.
local.
No,
Sorry,
she's just
I
a
might have
friend of
misheard.
Candus's. I
I
actually
have to
want to
travel
ask.
5 hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I raised the question because it's something that I've been watching. He's a multimedia person, and just, it doesn't make sense. If there's a calendar, you would think one will, if you're trying to grow your
I think it's
business.
kind of irrelevant, really.
Huh?
I just think it's kind of irrelevant.
Well, I think his whole fucking Find Summer Wells is irrelevant, in my personal opinion. So I think it's all bullshit, but that's me.
What, the What is?
All of
The
it.
website?
The whole sham, the whole scam, because it's politically involved. And that's me. And I'm not speaking on Jay Marie's panel, as that's what Jay Marie thinks. That's me. It's all bullshit.
We all know who's running the website. That's clear.
Okay.
Shannon, are you still there?
So
I
hold on.
am.
Hold on. Who do you think's running the website? Since you want to bring that up.
Dawn and Candus are running that website.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
No, they're
Tim
not.
is.
No, they're not.
They don't even
Join-
have access to that website.
So-
Tim is running that website
So,
single-handedly.
no,
Yeah,
Tim
that's
ain't
what I
running
thought, that it
either.
was Tim.
Is
Well,
Ben helping him at all?
No.
Tim has access to it, but if you see the street signs that he's putting up in the political party that he's putting up, you go back and search the political party that is raising funds for a certain somebody that is high up in the community, that is either in EMS or I think the other thing is called law enforcement. But go back and look at the political justice that guy is serving. So, and I'm not drawing
The only
anybody out
reason
here.
why I thought that Dawn was part of running it, I didn't think it was Dawn by himself and Candace by themselves, is because the website was connected to it. Shannon, that's why I thought that. But I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah, no. Don and Candace don't have any control over the website. It's solely Tim that's running the website.
Do you know if they are getting any reinforcement from law enforcement as far as like them reaching out to them, offering, let's do a website, or anything?
If they're getting any legal reinforcements?
Yeah, like from law enforcement themselves. Ronnie Lawson, i.e. TBI.
Can I hint on the problem?
Hold on one second.
Go ahead.
I just have to talk to Kitten Kaboodler. I think he was talking about the website when he said that finding Summer Wells was a scam. He's talking about the website, that in his opinion, the website is a scam.
Well,
He wasn't talking about finding her in general.
It's a political vendetta. So I'm not far out there. I'm not anything. I've been on the political side. I used to. So here in Chicago, it's not about who you know, what you know, how you know. It's about politically being involved. So when you take that to a small town, which I grew up in, and it was politically involved, and my best friend, his dad was a lawyer in the town. My other best friend, his dad was the county sheriff. And when you mix up us three into a relationship, if I ever got pulled over, I ain't going fucking nowhere. That's my point. That's what happens in small towns. My point is when you have somebody that's running your website, running your stuff, that is putting out political signs, which is the same party that is the sheriff. And I'm not saying that the sheriff has any connections with him or any political motive behind it. It's just odd. That's it. Odd.
Okay. So,
if that makes sense. I'm not trying to accuse anybody of anything. It's odd.
Yeah.
Like I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I've done research and I get tied up at is he doing it really to find Summer? Is he not? I don't know. And I don't think anybody can figure that out because there is no true statement on that website or with him that says I'm 100% non-for-profit, 100% trying to find Summer. He's not saying that. So I just raised. That's the emoji right here. I'll try to do it better here.
Back to what my question was, though, Shannon, I really would love to know the answer to that if you knew anything, because I feel like more heat needs to be put on law enforcement myself. do you know of law enforcement at all trying to help this family get her face out more by the media?
Well, I personally had asked questions myself when I was up there, because it seems to me, and I'm sure to a lot of other people, that they've kind of given up and are just waiting for somebody to give them an answer.
Right.
But I was told that they are doing a lot still. It wasn't elaborated on, but I was told that they are still doing a lot to try to find Summer and try to find answers. And that the PIs are working directly hand in hand with the police department. If anything comes down the pipeline, it gets reported to the PIs, and then the PIs go to Don and Candus. Just because it's more of a blushed over way, if in case something comes down bad, the PIs are more personally involved with them. They work with them daily, and can transmit bad news to them if needed, where, the police aren't going to be as gentle with it.
Has there been any news at all? Anything?
I don't know of any kind of direct involvement with the police, not that I've seen.
I don't think so.
So I wanted to ask you, Shannon, how are Don and Candus doing today after everything that happened?
Well, Donnie's trying to figure out how he's going to pay bills now. I know that Benny put out there on Crude's live that he didn't get fired, but I matter of fact was on the phone with Candus video chatting when it all happened. She had called me. I had called her and I said, they're on their way. They're coming to where Donnie's working. And then she called me and she said, well, I'm here. And she was there working with him. And she said, guess who's here? And she flipped the phone around and pointed it out the window, and I seen them standing there. And a little while later, it ended up being, I had to tell her to stay inside. And, I told her, I said, if you can, keep Donnie inside too. You guys don't need to be out there.
Right.
And she's like, well, I've already called the cops. They're on their way. 4 police cars showed up. And the boss came over from the house next door, and told him, he says, all right, you're done. They've lost homes over this. They've lost buyers over it. They've lost all kinds of stuff.
You heard the boss say that?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, he can get unemployment. For sure.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know how he was paid, though. If he was paid under the table, I do know for a fact that he is paying child support for the boys. Mm-hmm. They have not lost all parental rights. They do still talk to the boys, and they're able to visit the boys. They do still pay child support.
But the one fact that we do have is the 911 calls are released into evidence because nobody can obtain them. I've tried to get them myself just to hear them, and I wouldn't put them out there, but just to get them myself. You're not going to get them, but they won't be released until they're released. No. They're into evidence, so they'll never be released.
Well, yeah, but
until after the court case.
I put in a public record form the day that this happened. That doesn't mean I'm going to get them. We'll get them when we all get them.
Well, that's the issue with me is if anybody that is supporting them, there's evidence that is into those documents. That's the problem with me. I mean, that's me, myself. But I just don't know. I mean, I am all ears for anything.
Shannon, I wanted to say to you, the next time that you talk to Don and Candus, and I'm in no way a supporter of them at all, but just let them know that there is people thinking about them. There is people that do have empathy for them. They are still human beings. Mm-hmm. And I hope the best for them. I hope Summer's found and brought home. I really do. And I hope that this doesn't evade them from talking to other people, other creators that don't have the same heart. You know what I mean?
Well, see, and just the fact that you had said, you're not a supporter, but you do wish, certain things for them. I don't know I don't know what I believe. I don't know how I feel. I'm neutral. And that's where I stand. If they want to talk to me about something, they know that if they were to tell me that they knew what happened or where she was or anything like that, it's not considered turning on them, but I damn sure would report it.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
know? This is
Yeah.
about Summer. This isn't about anybody else but Summer.
Right.
I see somebody asked how I knew that they were going there.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Yeah, I watch all creators. I watch all creators because there's a little bit of truth in everybody's business, right? So I watch all of them, and then I can stand back and go, well, I know that didn't happen, or I don't know if that happened. And matter of fact, Molly Golightly had done her live last night, and she had taken Dudley, the guy that used to work with Don, out to dinner, and he had said, she asked him, do you know where he's working? And he didn't directly say, oh yeah, this is where he's working, and she didn't directly say, this is where we're going. But as soon as she gets a little bit of information like that, you know, she's a rat with cheese, she's going to run with it. He told her, and they went. I knew they were going there.
Well, the thing is off camera. That was all on camera. So off camera, he totally told them exactly where they were, exactly where the house was that they were working on, exactly everything. And
I knew what he was saying. I knew what he was saying because I had been there. I went there yesterday.
I'm not discrediting him. We're here to find Summer, and the way that they approach things is wrong. I mean,
yeah, it's too aggressive.
Well,
it's untrue.
Heaven forbid that something really happened. I mean, you can't put that out there. So what is she going to do if something really happened to where a neighbor was involved? Whether it's somebody we know, somebody we don't know, we don't know. I mean, heaven forbid that happens. Then what's Molly gonna do? I mean, blow it off here, just like the other videos on her on YouTube. I just don't know. I mean, you just don't do that to people.
Right. No, and the thing is too is that you get more bees with honey, and I'm pretty sure, you know, just like anybody else, if they would have approached them differently, and you know, if you tell Don and Candus that you don't know, you don't have an opinion, that you're neutral, they would have let you on the property. And the fact of the matter is how many people have been up there and have walked the entire property? If that baby was up there, they wouldn't have let us up there. But had Molly and them approached it differently and a little more sensitively, they would have been allowed up there and they wouldn't be going through all this.
See,
yeah, you're not going to talk to someone who comes on your property saying, lock them up.
Right.
You know?
But the thing is, let's keep it real. They don't want on that property. What they want is to give a show to all the bullies, to all the mean girls, to all the people that are throwing their money. And I'm just keeping it real. They don't
I have
care.
a video where Molly had said she didn't realize that Olivia was on live. And
yeah,
she had said, yeah, and she was like, well, it's the difference between 2,000 and 12,000. And she said, you didn't know I made that much? I thought I told you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's all about the money, but you're going to say it's not.
Wait till it goes green, and then you put ads every time. I've seen it all, girl. I watch everything too.
You have to kind of keep in the loop with everybody because everybody knows, like I said, everybody knows a little truth.
It's a full-time job, though. God.
Yeah.
Well, Molly did say that Cash Gurnan wasn't the cash cow that Summer Wells is. So that was said before she even went on this hunt. And I'm sorry, but you say that and then you go out and you do everything in your right mind to exploit the shit out of this girl. And I'm sorry.
Guys, is this true?
Huh?
Is this true, this comment?
The comment what?
Bullhorn Betty
said she had planned on getting him fired.
Yes, I have that. I have that recorded as well. She said, Molly said she didn't know about it.
Yeah, Jay Marie, she also said that this is how they put the heat on them. This is what happens. They lose their job, and then, you know, pretty much
his job.
You know, they think because he lost his job, now he's going to talk, which I don't understand why they think that's
the problem with this whole thing. His boss might have said, "Oh yeah, I fired him." Oh yeah,
it's been confirmed. Levitt, it was confirmed he lost his job.
He didn't lose
All
shit.
things-
I'm
What's
just
gonna
telling you
happen when
right now,
somebody
he
loses
lost his
their
job until
job?
they're gone.
What happens when people that are used to working every day and supporting their family lose their job and lost their daughter and their sons? They lose their
Suicide.
mind. And if that man hurts himself or
Very
anything
dangerous.
happens on that hill, we're never going to know where that baby is.
Richard Tucker is not going to fire him over this internet bullshit.
But listen,
I concur.
If he did, I mean, some people may believe it, some may not, but if he did, this is a very dangerous situation to put this case in, and they may have deterred this whole investigation.
So you get sued because you're gonna fire me because of these internet people. So you're gonna get sued because of that, or you're gonna do the right thing, the human thing, the right thing as an employer. You are going to do the right thing where, Don, you're fired.
This is what I think happened. I think he got laid off indefinitely
I'll
for
tell them whatever you want me to get them out of
Hold on, guys. Levin.
I'm sorry.
Hold on, we're all talking over each other.
All right,
Hold on one second.
I
Okay,
was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say that he might have been fired or just let go indefinitely for everybody's safety, you guys. It makes sense. For the safety of the other employees, for the safety of everybody. And that's probably what happened.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Do that.
Okay, so I was out there today. I found where they were protesting. I'll just be honest. I found how to. Yeah, I'm a local.
Yes. Hi.
Hey, so I did find out where they were protesting today based off that video last night that Molly put out, because I am a local. I know exactly where to go because it is the only subdivision with a school in the middle of it in our area. It was not hard to find, and I actually saw the 3 police cruisers go in, and I followed them to the house, and there they were. I was not in the middle of the protest because I'm not all about that. I wanted to see what they were doing. I wanted to see what they stood for with my own eyes. That's why I was watching them. I did talk to a coworker, but she wasn't a coworker with Tucker Drywall. She was actually a coworker for the development team that's building the houses out there that they were working on. He actually called Dawn's foreman, and after the first set of police officers left, he called the foreman too and asked somebody to come out and help him because she didn't agree with what they were doing. I asked her about, I don't remember how I asked it, but I was kind of like, I'm surprised that he hasn't been fired or something along that line. She said they don't want to fire him because he is innocent until proven guilty, and he has to live his life.
Well, here's my thing. I haven't looked into Tennessee law, but I live in the most brutal state when it comes to employment law. So my employer can fire me for any reason, but at the same time, I can fire my employer for any reason I want.
Right.
So if I tell you, go fuck yourself, I quit, there's no penalties or perjury or anything against me. The thing is you as an employer, and I know very well as an employer of people that you can't just fire somebody for no reason, whether you live in a piece of shit state like I do or you don't, because either way, even if there's no contract, no nothing, you can't just fire me for no reason. So what's your reason? So if they put up, lack of credibility, well, on camera, presented by the heels on the ground or the dough on the ground or whatever the hell their names are, like, you can't, like, that can't happen because it's video proof evidence that you got fired because of the protest. So the employer cannot do anything. He can say, "Hey, Don, I need you to take a couple days and sit on the sideline." That's it.
Right.
He
Well,
can't
Tennessee.
do either thing.
Well, Tennessee is a what is it? A right to
Right
work.
to work state.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Well, it
mean,
doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't
Yes, it
matter what.
does. You can be fired. I live in North Carolina. North Carolina is a right to work
Okay.
state. I was a retail manager and I've let people go for no reason before, and it is completely legal in a
Okay.
right to work state.
Okay, with the video proven evidence that this is why I got fired.
This has been
Probably
going on
not,
for 7 months with
you
his
get
employer.
sued the shit out of.
Okay,
I'm
guys,
just telling you. I'm
we're
just
having
telling
some
you.
we're having some lagging issues, so I'm gonna have to
All right.
let like 1 or 2 people go. So I just want to have a couple people finish up what they were gonna say, and then I'm gonna let one down, so maybe we can have less people on panel. Is that okay?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can finish up, but I really just wanted to go out and see what this was about. And no, I don't agree with what they did. Not one bit. I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah.
I really don't, because until we find the truth, that's how they survived. And I've
Exactly.
been fired. I've been laid off. And when you get that notice, that then you're like, well, what the fuck am I gonna do now? I'm sorry I said that word. But
No,
that's just kind of the way that you feel. Let's pretend like they are 100 completely innocent. Now he just lost his job. And I know that they're saying that this is a pressure campaign, and they're applying the pressure, and they're applying the pressure, and the harder they push, they're going to crack. Okay, but how hard do you want them to crack?
right.
What?
Because honestly, say they didn't do anything at all, and this was purely just an accident, and she really did walk off the property. This is ruining them, and they're, that truth is never going to come out because it's not truth at all. You know what I mean?
And some people get so depressed that they take their own lives. Do they want that on their hands? And I'm just going to put it out there. I'm being straight up.
Yep. And I thought the same thing today.
And I don't want that on my hands. Mm-hmm. If I was them and that happened, that would devastate me, because I caused that by what I did.
Right.
Well, these
Better
people
way
have
to do this. A much better way to do this. Sorry, I'm not trying to be mad.
Oh no, you're fine. Levitt, do you mind if I drop you? Or do you have anything else to say? You're good? Okay. All right. I'll see you soon.
And the terrain out there, Shannon's seen it. It's still possibly that if she did wander off, that they could still be looking for her. I mean,
oh yeah, she could be anywhere.
Yeah, I know that they brought out some very impressive equipment to look for her. I understand that, but the terrain is different. It's hilly, it's flat. There's flat places, there's hilly places, you just never know what you're going to find.
And there's water everywhere. There's a creek everywhere that you drive through there.
I know when you go past their house, when you go past the driveway, it's real steep right there, and it goes straight down into the creek. And when you're on the road, you're looking down at the creek. Right, Shannon?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
when I left yesterday, it was raining so bad that the creek was overflowing on Ben Hill Road. And it was overflowing into other people's yards. That same creek comes from way up above them, goes down through, and it goes all the way down to Lone Star, and then turns into an even bigger body of water and goes all the way down into Kingsport. It's a really long creek. It's probably flows into some big body of water. I'm not sure where, but it's a lot of water, and it was going all over the roads and everything.
Well, Shannon, that makes sense too. If the waters were rising, that was probably so loud where you couldn't hear the protesters anyways because of the creek.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what the reasoning is. I know Tim came up and he said, they're down there, and we all marched our butts outside and went down by the school bus, and yeah, they were down there. You could barely hear them. You couldn't really make out too much of what they were saying. I remember hearing one of them had said, "We have the sheriffs down here for your dogs." And Don thought it was going to be funny to shoot a flare up in the air, and he shot it straight up in the air. He didn't shoot it at them, and
Yeah.
it came down into the trees. And I'm not sure if it was the trees on, the house side of the road or the other side of the road. But we had talked to the police about it, and they said it's not illegal if you're not shooting it at somebody. If you're on your own property shooting it and it's not a bullet, then it's not illegal.
Have a good night, Molly. Sorry, go ahead, guys.
Yeah,
there was all kinds of reasons why you couldn't hear him.
Yeah, I never thought that he had fired the flare at them. It was just kind of a up in the air. What a flare gun's for.
Yeah.
Were they at the property, Don and Candus, when Laura drove through?
No. Laura was there yesterday, and we were actually in town. We had gone to a mall. I'd taken everybody out to lunch, and when we got back, the dog food was there, and I had seen Laura's video about her trying to go halfway up the hill and back down again.
Okay, and they didn't say anything? They weren't going to do anything about that?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know if they've seen it. I didn't even think to say anything to them about it. Everybody's so focused on Molly and them.
Yeah.
Shannon, do you know, or if you can say, I don't even know if you can say, but obviously don't if you can't, but do you know anything? Did Robin press charges about them taping the child?
I was told that she went to Kingsport Police and she filed charges. She couldn't do trespassing charges. That's up to the church. And I'm not sure if they're going to do that. But I know Robin pressed charges for harassment and defamation of character. So they have essentially 2 sets of charges in Kingsport.
I would have done the same.
The prosecutor picks them up because they have to have evidence, and it really is not against the law to take a picture. It's not. It has to be a derogatory or pornographic. You can take pictures. That would be like if I was at Disney World and I took a picture of my family and there were 4,000 kids in the background. I don't have to go ask 4,000 kids if their parents if it's okay. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it, respectful or anything. I'm just saying that I know a lot about that law. I'm a photographer and a First Amendment auditor, and it's not illegal. But
wasn't there a sign though right outside the church? Sorry.
No, because they had the sign up that says no photography. If they knew they were taking pictures and they told them to stop or they would have to leave and they didn't, then they could get them for trespassing. That's why the cops are saying they can get the church itself can get them for trespassing if they told them to leave. But they left anyway. So.
What kills me is if you think about their motive there. They're out there protesting and throwing a fit about a 5-year-old missing. Yet here they are posting another little girl, juvenile, on YouTube for thousands of people to see and possibly putting her life in danger.
And then she acted like it was a mistake and had the gall to blame that baby and say it was that baby reaching in her purse.
Well, first she said, we don't care, cry us a river and build a bridge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but the baby didn't post the video.
Exactly.
Right. And the least I think she could have did was blur her face out. You know what I mean? Right. Or just cut that end of the video.
Just not post it at all. There was no reason to take somebody worshiping their God. It's disrespectful. It's ugly.
But to get back to the charges, I do know that Robin pressed charges. And I do know that there are charges being pressed due to all of the things with Don. And there are videos. I have videos of where Molly had gone on the property. She went up and banged on the garage door when Donnie shut it. And then she also leaned against Candus's car on the property in the driveway. So the people that own that development, own the houses in there, because that house is not bought yet. They can press charges for trespassing. Aside from the ones that Don and Candus are doing, which is harassment and stalking. And they were told that those are valid charges. On top of the trespassing charges in Hawkins County.
To go to the prosecutor, though. The biggest thing is that this could be a civil suit, and Molly Golightly just admitted on camera that she makes 6 figures off the back of that baby. Yeah. She better watch out.
And to answer a question in the chat, somebody said, doesn't the church record? I believe they do record, or they used to. Now they only do audio, but when they were recording, it was with the parents' consent.
And
Somebody
they have security as well.
Yeah.
somebody did come and yell at them for being in the driveway when I was watching. Because after the cops left, if you watched Molly earlier when she was talking about being in Candus's face and in the driveway, she was.
Wow.
Well, we had talked to Robin when I was up there, and Molly and them had been there a couple times. They had gone there and they were waiting in the parking lot, and then they left. And then the security had walked around outside the building to make sure they weren't still there. And Robin had assured me that she was going to be escorted out to her vehicle when they left. But that Saturday was a long day because they were doing birthday parties in there for some of the church members, and they were doing a potluck. And they had invited us up to the potluck, but I had told Candus it wasn't a good idea because I knew that was going to be one of their destinations. And not that I'm trying to hide Candus from anybody, but nobody needs a confrontation.
Right.
So let the police handle it. Why? They're nobody. They don't need to be in the middle of anything with these people.
Oh, I was talking about the protest.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant at the church.
No, I was talking about the protest earlier when she, after the cops left, she was in the driveway.
Oh, Nancy,
Huh?
somebody had commented in the chat about the dog food. The dog food wasn't there long. And matter of fact, I brought the dog food and the dog snacks home with me because Candus and Don have about 7 bags, 50-pound bags of dog food at their house. Those dogs are not malnourished. Those are the puppies that were living under the house when Summer went missing. So they're only about 7 months old.
They look fine. They look great.
They are fine, and they are very loving dogs.
Aww. Yeah, you can see in the videos they came right up to everybody.
Yeah.
And they were petting them.
You have Blue, you have Moo, you have Scaredy Cat, you have Puddles, and then up at the top of the hill in the house is Yucky with her 7 puppies. And they're all doing very good. They're all fat and fluffy. So none of those animals are malnourished.
Here's a question for Shannon. Are those dogs legally the Wells, or are they strays? Or is it half and half?
Well, they started out as strays and then they started multiplying. There's no legality to it because they're not registered to anybody. There was several other dogs up there prior to those puppies, but they've come up missing, whether they're getting killed somewhere or somebody's picking them up and taking them to the shelter or taking them home with them. They don't necessarily belong to anybody. They just started coming up there, and Candus and Don started feeding them. They're outside dogs, and they have shelter and food and water at all times.
That's the way it works in the country. I lived in the country for 20 years. I fed all the dogs. We'd have dogs for 1 week, and then we wouldn't have some for a year. You never know.
I'm going to go ahead and get down.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a good night. Okay.
Who's the all brown dog? That one is Puddles.
Which one is Moon?
Moo is one of the ones with the blue eyes.
I thought so.
Yeah. That
Oh my
Blue,
gosh.
Blue is the smaller black and white dog with the blue eyes. That's Blue.
She had Dallas
yesterday.
She had Dallas up the other night. He was so cute.
Yeah.
I could
They're
smell
adorable.
him from the video,
They're
like
adorable.
puppies. You can just smell puppies.
Yesterday before I left, I had one in my hand, and he was laying in they've got a dog house that's got a door in the front and all that. And all the babies are laying in there, and they're all nice and warm. And one of them was laying on his back with all 4 legs up in the air and his tongue sticking out. So I reached down in and I picked him up, and I had him on his back in the palms of my hands, and he just laid there and slept. So I was sitting there playing with his ears and everything. He started sticking his tongue out, and I had a hoodie on, and I put him in the hoodie pocket, and he just laid there and slept. And it was the most adorable thing. They're fat little munchkins.
Were you able to take any of the dogs home?
No, they're too young.
Okay.
They were born Christmas.
Do you plan on adopting any of them?
I wish I could. My husband told me I can't. We had a black lab that we had had for almost 9 years that we had to put to sleep because of cancer right before Christmas. So everybody's still a little heartbroken. We do have a pit bull, but it's just not the same. So
yeah,
he told me I can't have any.
Aw, I'm sorry.
And they're all named after cities in Texas because that's where Candus was born.
Aw, that's so cute.
Shannon, have you yourself done any searching? Like you were talking about the creek. Have you guys gone out, like you yourself or your husband gone out and searched any?
My husband didn't go up there. My husband's a truck driver, so he's gone all the time.
Gotcha.
But I did. Benny also did when he was up there. We did separately. And then we also did walk across, we walked pretty much the whole property as well. There was nothing obvious up there. I don't know the area too well and don't know any of the people there. So I was really careful as to how far I went by myself.
What were you thinking when you're just walking the property? Like what kind of goes through your mind?
I don't really know. You kind of have your eyes peeled and you're wondering and you're just kind of sitting there and looking at everything and going, well, could she be under here? Could she be in here? And I was on J. Marie's live a few days before I had gone up there. And like I told her, I've been in and out of all of those buildings. There's no basement in any of those buildings. You can see everything that's in there. There's no way she's in any of those. The refrigerator that everybody was talking about is up there. It has no door on it. There is an old sectional that was rolled down the hill on the side that Molly went up, but it's all cut to pieces because law enforcement did that. So they've really scoured that whole property. And that was before the leaves fell. So what I'm seeing now is everything with the leaves on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You see toys everywhere. It's just indicative of having kids there. There's nothing. Like and you don't know where to search. I asked Candus, I said, listen, I got my SUV. We can go anywhere you want to go. Let's go. Where do you want to go search? She has no idea where to go either. She says, where do you go that police haven't already gone? And outside of that, I have no idea where to go. She could be anywhere. If you don't know who has her, you don't know, what they've done with her, where they went with her, you don't know where the hell to go. You're going to scour the whole earth for that? That's impossible.
No, I saw. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, what do you think? Because when you said that, if you don't know who's got her, what do you think about Candus herself saying that two people very close to her took her?
Are you talking about the ones that turned their back on her afterwards?
Yeah, lips.
Oh, those people. I don't know.
Yeah,
they came in after the fact.
Yeah, she had a recording where she was like FaceTiming Candus, and Candus said that she knew two people close to her, pretty much, that were involved. She said that flat out.
Yeah. Candus has told me that she's suspected Jody Sue.
Okay.
You got to figure Jody Sue, Andy, and Frank Light are all in cahoots together. They all used to hang out at a bar that was in Kingsport that's no longer there. Jody Sue, when Don had gone to Utah and took Josie with him, they were going to all move up there and sell the house. And Candus had asked Jody Sue, do you know anybody that would want this property? And she said, yeah, I want it because I don't want any neighbors. Save it and I'll buy it. So then when Donnie came back and all that stuff went down with Jose and whatever, they decided they weren't going to sell anymore. Jody Sue got pissed off and quit talking to her. And now if you stop and you go back through Jody Sue's statements, when she first came out, she said, I was in my cabin with my kids talking shit, TV off, didn't hear anything. We heard a scream. We came out to investigate. Now she's saying she was at the bottom of the hill waiting for Andy to pick her up. Her story has changed multiple times. I was told they were not allowed to search her property.
I've also heard that she said in the beginning that she wanted a sketch artist because she's seen his face.
Yeah, and like Benny has said, if she wanted a sketch artist because she's seen his face, then it's obviously not Donnie or Candus.
Right.
Because she would be able to say, I saw Don do this.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said on your live that one time, if they've only found 2 spots that had her scent going down that hill and led out to the road, then in my mind, I imagine somebody had picked her up. From what point, I don't know, but picked her up. She slid out of their grasp, hit the ground. That's where her first scent came. Picked her back up, and then she wrestled her way loose and hit again later down the hill. That's what I envision. And the fact of everybody saying, there's no traffic there. There's no traffic there. If you think of a thief of any sort, whether it be, going to Walmart and shoplifting or stealing from somebody's back porch or whatever, they're going to do it where there is nobody. They're not going to go to some highly populated area where there's cars traveling through all the time to go steal a child.
So is that
I've
what
heard.
you think happened?
You think that somebody came and took her?
In a way, yeah. I really don't know what to think otherwise. That's the only thing at this point that makes sense to me.
You don't think that maybe she passed away either when she got home or right after, or there was an accident and Candus and Don freaked out and thought, oh my God, we're going to lose the boys. We're going to go to prison.
I don't know where the hell they would have put her. If you think about these people, they're not intellectually smart enough to be able to hide and make the perfect crime.
Oh, yeah, they are. Come on now.
You think so?
Yeah,
Well,
they're criminals.
The thing with that is, if I'm correct, the dog scent, or the dogs, they picked up her scent down the trail.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, I mean, her scent is all over that property, but they were, mostly on that trail right there.
Yep. And otherwise, they said that she doesn't go down that trail otherwise.
Yeah. I just have to answer Anita's question. I've heard that he is still living on the property. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've heard.
When he showed up at the house to meet up with Benny, I was there. And he had some other girl with him, and he came from Beach Creek. He didn't come from up Ben Hill.
Voldemort?
Jody Sue's living in a camper. Yeah. Andy wasn't up on that property. And that's his parents' property. I was told he left there, and Jody Sue's living in her mother's yard in a camper, and that Andy's living with his new girlfriend.
So he's not living there. Okay.
That's what I'm told.
Okay. So, yeah, he moved away, and what did I say last time we talked?
Who is it that's left the scene and has, stopped talking to them? And that's what I said last time, was that would be the neighbors, in my opinion. They're awfully, there's too many things that just don't sound good.
But Don also said that before this happened that they did not talk a lot. So did they talk a lot? Was he?
Not since October.
Yeah, I mean, before summer. You know what I mean? Don said that before summer, they didn't really talk to them, that they weren't really friendly, which, Jody Sue says different. So it's kind of hard to gauge whether they were friendly, or weren't. How close were they? Jody Sue talks about when she was beat up or Candus was beat up, that they helped each other. And that seems pretty close to me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you got to figure, too, Don's always gone. So he doesn't know who Candus talks to and doesn't.
Right.
So she does a lot of her movements during the day when he's not there.
Jody Sue is in the background working with creators, collecting evidence. This is horrible. I would think so, yeah. I didn't think it was a very good idea for Don and Candus to be talking to YouTubers in the first place, and for Jody Sue, who is a potential witness suspect, I don't think she should be working with creators either.
There's a reason why she wants to be so pertinent.
Mm-hmm. She wants money too. She came on and crashed Ziggy's live the other night, made everybody feel uncomfortable, and spoke out about putting her Venmo out there when she said she never wanted money, but now she does because she's so scared. If you're scared, look, I've been beat up. I've been beat up a lot. When I was scared, nobody knew where I was.
Yep. When
I left, I left. I didn't go on Facebook and YouTube every night and talk and talk and talk and talk. Sorry, that's just me. I know everybody handles it differently, but she really did offend me when that happened. When she did that on Ziggy's live, I was like, yeah, I'm done.
And where are her kids? They're not living in the camper with her.
I've heard them in there a couple times when she's talking, but the way I understand it, her son's an adult, right?
He's like 18 or 19, I think. He drives.
Yeah. And if they are in that little tiny camper, I mean, and she's dying of cancer supposedly, right? But she's smoking one cigarette right after the other in that little tiny, never mind. That's
I think she's killing her liver with narcotics, actually.
Yeah, I've always thought she was on something too. She says something about her thyroid. I hate to say that I've been through all this shit, but I had my thyroid taken out.
I'm currently going through a hyperthyroid storm at the moment, and it makes you so you can't even get out of bed because you're dizzy, but I'm damn sure not on narcotics, and I can open my eyes.
And when I had,
she was on the news and was bright wide awake, and when she gets on her lives, she can't even open her damn eyes.
when I had cancer, they told me that thyroid cancer is the most curable cancer you can get. I had no radiation, no chemo, no nothing. They just took it out. Now she talks about that she's going through all this radiation treatment. She's got that big scar on the other side of her neck. That's not anywhere near your thyroid.
Nope.
The thyroid's on where your vocal cords are.
I have 2 questions for you, Shannon. The first question is, if Candus suspects Jody Sue, why not say so from the beginning?
What has she said out loud to anybody, really?
Right. I mean, has she said anything?
TBI. She's told TBI, and she's talked about it to the PIs, so they know.
So she does suspect Jody Sue and Andy. Does she suspect anybody else?
She kind of does what Don does, you know, when you say, well, if you don't think, if there's a possibility that Jody Sue's not involved, who else do you think? You know, because just like you said on your other live, talk to her about who has disappeared, who's moved away from them as far as physically or just relationship wise. And I've done that with her. I've talked to her about it multiple times, because if you can get an idea, then you have an idea of where to go. And she doesn't really know. She thought maybe it was a rogue CPS worker. You know, but that was just when she was angry. And the fact of the matter is a lot of people are like, oh, well, CPS was coming that day and they hid Summer. CPS was coming that day to close the case.
Really?
They were coming that day to close the case. That's the only reason they know why they were coming and what time they were coming. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given a time.
But that's as far as you know. And I've had CPS in my case all my life. They have told me many times when they're coming. They make appointments and they come back. So that's her telling you that. So we don't know that for truth. Let's just keep it real, because
that's true.
Right. It's a minor case. We don't know anything, you know. I'd love to know. I think those boys hold some of the secrets to this case. I'd love to know what they're saying, but we won't know. We'll never know.
Right. But you got to think too, they're so young that if they knew, they'd have cracked.
The thing is, if DCF was coming that day, how come she was gone the whole day? Were they coming later in the evening?
To avoid.
I didn't ask that.
Because if they were coming to close the case, I would see no reason to avoid them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just maybe, I don't know. Maybe she can answer them.
We can't believe a lot of it. Let's just, I mean, no matter what, they don't tell the truth all the time. We know that. We've caught them in multiple lies. We've heard them put on shows. We've heard Candus cry saying Don's been taken. We've heard a lot. And they are criminals. They've both been to jail. They both have had hard lives, and they both have suffered addiction.
Yeah.
And we've seen them very intoxicated. They are ill. I hope to God that what I've heard, that they've been clean for 13, whatever, 20 days, whatever it is now. I hope to God that sticks, and that they get clear-minded and can get the help they need. I know they can't do it alone. They can't do it alone.
Somebody asked if there's 1 or 2 Andys. There's Andy the neighbor, and then there was another Andy. I can't recall who it was. But then, oh no, it was Candus's ex-husband or the one she had the 2 kids with.
Yeah,
so then they had
that was her ex.
Andrew.
Yeah. There's a question here. Do you think that Summer could handle the mini bikes? It would explain 1 foot down.
No, she was too short. Because those mini bikes are still sitting there against that shed, against one of the trucks, in front of the shed, and I can't explain them, but they look like the old mini bikes that have like almost the banana seat. They have the really big, chunky, long seat. I have a 6-year-old, and he wouldn't even be able to get on it, and he's a very, very tall kid.
Wow. Okay. Who was Don talking about with Candus that day, saying there was a guy that's been hanging out and wanting to touch the kids?
They were talking about what's his name, Dobbs.
Jackie Dobbs.
Yeah, because Jody Sue had let them know that he was camping in the holler.
Okay.
I've always thought
What-
that was him too, because that would be something Don would say. What if he's up there touching and bothering the kids? You know what I mean? If I was a dad, I would think that.
yeah, definitely. And you don't really know who he is, you know?
If y'all hear snoring, it's my dog on my bed snoring like a man. So
That's okay.
Mine's doing the
So
same
another
thing.
question: why was Andy at the wells the night before Summer went missing? If you know, if you don't know,
I wasn't aware of that.
okay. I'm just looking for more questions. If you want to talk,
Is Andy Jody Sue's kid's dad?
I couldn't tell you that either.
I wonder if her son. Sorry, that was my dog. I wonder if her son is named Andy.
I don't know what his real name is either, because
yeah, because they call him
What is it they
Booger or
call him?
something.
No, Benny calls him Booger, but there's another name similar to that.
Yeah,
Boogie.
it's like Boogie. Yeah. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay.
Oh, let me make this clear. Nancy asked if I have a 6-year-old, do I take him to the Wells house? I covered this last time. You might not have been in the live. No, my kids do not go there. Again, I live 5 hours away. I also have a 21-year-old, and he's the one that watches my other 2 kids when I'm gone. My kids are not going up there. And as I said last time, it's not for a matter of Don or Candus. It's more so because you don't know what the hell's going to happen up there.
Oh, I have a question. What does Candus think about what Voldemort told his daughter? Does she think that that's fact, or that he was just saying that to scare her?
She doesn't really know what to think, as far as I know. When we talked about it, she cried. You can't really talk too much about too much stuff unless she's ready. She'll talk to you about it when she's ready, and she's got to be in a really good frame of mind to be able to do that. But she did tell me that just kind of solidifies a little more. That adds to the list of suspicions.
Right. Yeah. So
And I did hear that TBI was possibly at Jody Sue's house the other day. I did ask Candus when I was up there, and she said she doesn't know, that they don't tell her anything. When she calls down there and asks, have you come up with anything? Is there anything new? They won't tell her anything. And it's because of the fact that everybody is still a suspect. They can't rule anybody out.
And they haven't cleared them.
They haven't cleared anybody. Nobody.
Has Don and Candus asked why they haven't been cleared yet?
No.
They haven't asked TBI that?
No. Not that I'm aware of.
I think they should. And I mean, if she's watching this tonight, maybe, she can take my advice and ask them, because if I was a parent of a missing child, I'd be asking, why am I not cleared? Give me a reason why I'm not cleared,
I be calling TBI and the sheriff every day. Every day.
Yeah.
She gets more out of TBI than she does Hawkins County.
Really?
Yeah. TBI is a little more receptive to things. Tiffany Cherie asked about Summer eating that day. Yes, she definitely ate that day. I asked Candus that actually this last time I was up there, just because there's been so much talk about it. And she said you couldn't stop Summer from eating. She said even though she was so tiny, she ate and ate and ate. When I first went up there that first time in December, I had taken her so much Jell-O and pudding and applesauce, and somebody else from Benny's Live had us pick up from Walmart. They had ordered online, and I had picked up, I think it was 5 or 6 bags of more Jell-O and pudding and applesauce. And Candus and I were putting it away on her shelf, and she looked at me and she says, if Summer was here, this wouldn't last 5 minutes.
Yeah. I think the reason why people are asking that is because when she discussed the timeline on Chris McDonough, she didn't mention her having any kind of food at all, unless they had snacks or something with them that we didn't know about,
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't say what they ate, but I mean, she's got a full house full of food. I don't work for Securitas Guard Company. I don't know what the hell that is for. I must work for Securitas Guard Company.
Are you media, Shannon?
Am I what?
Are you media? Are you part of the media?
No, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. My husband started his own company, so I quit my job. and he drives trucks for a living. I don't do anything.
So how did you first start talking to Candus and Don?
So I was, and J. Marie might remember, but the last time I was on there, I was telling her that I was watching the condo collapse in Florida on Facebook. Miami police and Miami fire and the mayor and stuff, they would put stuff out on Facebook. And I was watching one of those, and then Summer's, I don't remember what it was on, but Summer's face was on underneath that link. And there was a YouTube link on there. And I started watching it, and where I had worked, I was able to listen to, whatever I wanted while I was there. And I just finally said, screw it. And I looked the parents up and I started messaging them. And when I was watching Cher one day, she had Don on there and she had thrown her email address out there. So I emailed her and I said, hey, can you let Don and Candus know that I've been messaging them? Nothing bad. It's only good, supportive things. And she said, I'll send the message along. 15 minutes later, Candus messaged me back.
How long ago was that?
That was back in the beginning. I want to say end of June.
Gotcha.
And it was all short, little brief comments. I'd ask her, how are you doing today? And she'd just say, I'm okay. And that was it. And then, a couple days later, I'd message her again. I didn't want to hound her. And then finally, it stayed like that right up until December when Benny was going up there. And I finally said, screw it. And I got in my car and I drove the 5 hours up there. I asked her, I said, is it okay if I come up there when Benny comes up? She said, okay. And I got up there. And when I got to the end of her driveway, her PIs were there. And all of them were there. And they kind of looked at me real funny. I said, it's Shannon. And she said, oh, okay. And I handed her bag and I parked my car and we went up the hill. And ever since then, I talked to her multiple times a day.
Well, thank you for sharing with us. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. I just have a question that's been on the screen for a while. It says, Shannon, what was the real purpose of the fake call about Don being taken to prison? Do you know the real reason behind that? Because there's speculation that it was everything.
This is all like deja vu because I talked about all this last time. So it wasn't meant to be on YouTube. They knew that they wanted Chris McDonough off their back. And they knew that somebody was leaking information to Chris McDonough. They suspected that it was Mary. So it wasn't done on YouTube. It wasn't released on YouTube until Chris did it. So they called Mary and they said that, and Don was writing down on paper for what Candus to say. Yes, they were both intoxicated. That's an obvious. So that was one of the things. That was actually the first time I talked to Candus on video chat. When I messaged her when I was at work, I said, what the hell was that about? She said, can I call you? And she called me on Facebook, and then she handed the phone to Don, and he explained it to me. And I said, that's not a good move. I said, because everything you do is under scrutiny right now, and it's going on YouTube. Yep. And he said, well, I didn't expect for it to go on YouTube. He said, we knew that there was a rat somewhere. He said, so, and I wanted to find out it from my sister. He said, so we did, and here it is. So it wasn't to throw people off on YouTube or to throw law enforcement off. It was to try to throw Mary off. And I don't agree with it. It's childish games, especially with what's going on. But it's a little more innocent than people make it sound.
Yeah, I think that was what I heard too. Was the same reason. I mean, a lot of people come up with different theories on why that happened, but that's the reason that I heard. Does anybody else have any more questions? Yeah, people are pretty much just making comments. So, yeah, like I said last time, hold on. Shannon, you're like Prayer Garden and Jenna. Call Candus.
Okay, I mean, if you think that, go ahead. I didn't turn anything around badly on them, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people are in it for the right, they just want to support. And then there's other people that, they just want information. So,
right. And I'm not, if they told me anything or if I found out anything that was fishy or, could lead to Summer's, finding Summer, I damn sure wouldn't come to YouTube with it. I would go to law enforcement only and allow them to take care of it. Now, if you think of Jenna and Prayer Garden, they would cut anybody's throat just for clout. So that's where I'm different.
Well, yeah, because Prayer Garden had a few nights ago, I remember she had Candus up on panel
Yep,
the
and
night
stabbed her in the
before,
back again.
she's blaming her for the murder, and the night after, she's doing the same thing again.
Yep.
You know, so it's like, what the hell? You know?
And the thing is that when Lips was on, I remember who she is now because I was sitting at Candus's table while she was talking to Lips.
Really?
Oh.
Oh, okay. So you know who she is then?
Yep.
Okay.
I've seen her baby and
She was
everything.
on panel last time. Yeah, she was on panel last time because
Yeah.
I was up here and Lips was up here. But
Yep.
Shannon's not a panel hopper. I haven't seen Shannon on anybody else's panel.
I do talk to Alicia.
Okay.
No, but I've been in her chat, and she's actually, I like her. She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like her channel. You know, she has a lot of information. You know, and I saw you on there the other night, you know,
Yeah.
and
I said the same damn thing I'm saying on yours.
Yeah. I mean, I think Lips is cool. You know, she's a cool person, somebody I would hang out with, and I think that she has some information. And I think, you know, at some point she might have gotten uncomfortable with the situation, and she felt, you know, that she needed to take what she had and go.
Yep.
And I think that with, you know, maybe that's the same thing that happened with Jenna as well.
However, the thing with Lips, when I was there, Lips had threatened Candus. Candus wouldn't tell her something. And she texted Candus and she said, if you're not going to tell me, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. And she just started just blasting stuff off at her. And Candus showed me the text message. I said, who is this BITCH? And she's like, so-and-so, and told me her name. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I said, you need to block people like that.
Yeah.
And the difference with me is I'm not turning on them. So.
Right. Yeah.
They haven't given me a reason to.
Truthful said he only seen you on Alicia's channel.
Yep. And that's because Alicia talked to Candus. And she's friends with Two Tacos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is nice.
Candus go up on their panel.
I think she has good
Shannon and Lips
intentions.
know each other. I don't know her. I just seen her on Candus's phone.
Yeah, I think because I've heard, you know, that Candus, she just kind of will keep you on the phone and just go about her day, you know.
She does.
And have other people on another phone.
She does. She'll call me on her phone and she'll be watching lives and playing games and watching movies on her laptop, or she'll call me on her laptop and be doing stuff on her phone.
So are Candus and Dawn considered suspects?
Everyone is, including myself. Because I've been up on that hill, I'm considered a suspect as well. Because they have nothing to go on, Ellie, that is. They cannot clear anyone. There's no body. There's no Summer. There's no, you know, like I said last time, there's no blood trail. There's no grave. There's no nothing. They know as much as we know. Right. They know
Shannon,
probably a little more than that they're not repeating. But
did they take their phones and never give them back?
They have them. That's why they each have 2 phones.
Okay. Do you know how long they kept their phones? Because in Hunter's interview, the reason why I'm asking is because in Hunter's interview, it was like a month and a half after or whatever, he still hadn't gotten his phone back.
I really don't know how long they had them, to be honest. I mean, I haven't heard from them. I did hear speculation on YouTube, but I don't know how long exactly.
Gotcha.
My theory is the reason why they may have kept Hunter's phone longer is maybe there was more data on it. Because you know how a teenager, they have different apps and all that.
Well, that,
you know.
And there was suspicions that he was involved with gangs and things like that. So you know, there was probably a little more on there than what they do.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of suspicion that him and Candus had something going on.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I don't see that because when you get to know Candus, she's very child-minded, and I think it's her deflecting a lot of what she's gone through in her life. Because in certain points, she can be very, you know, adult and grown acting, and then sometimes, like, she went and she got a bag of toys for the boys. Somebody had given her a bunch of toys that their kids weren't playing with anymore. And she got on live with me or on video chat with me. And she was holding up all the toys and she was making all the bells and whistles go and pushing all the buttons. And she was just happy as a pig in shit. You know,
well,
so there's very much a child in her.
When you start using drugs, you freeze at that age. You know what I mean? So even when you get clean, when you get clean, even you start back over.
And also, you know, and I'm sure we all know this by now, but wasn't she sexually abused
Yes.
when she was younger. And, you know, a lot of people or, you know, women or men that go through that, you know, that kind of affects them in a way, you know. And it kind of reminds me, like when you were saying that, it reminded me of Michael Jackson, how he was accused of, you know, assaulting children and this and that, but he
And he was
kind
very
of just
childlike.
had that mentality, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their opinions on that, but in my opinion, I think he was just like childlike, you know.
And I still think that Candus suffers from PTSD.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
100%. 100%. Every
Yeah.
person that's been abused or is a drug addict or anything, you live that lifestyle for more than a couple days and you've got PTSD for sure. I can tell
Right.
too. Whenever I see her, I can tell. I also think that she may suffer some Bell's palsy. Maybe
Yeah.
it looks like she may have had a couple strokes.
She did not go be seen for that. She was not seen for that. I asked her, I said, "Did you have a stroke?" And she said, "I don't know." She said, one half of my face was sagging. She said, "I couldn't do anything." And she said, "I didn't go to the doctors." She doesn't have insurance, so it's hard for her to go to the doctors for much. I see the comment that you highlighted there
Yeah.
about Summer's toys. She did
Mhm.
not. Robin took them, the ones that were outside, she took them to the church and they washed them and cleaned them and they returned them back.
Okay.
Dawn was on WJHL tonight.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either. Well, we've been on here, so
Yeah,
Right.
somebody said it in the comments. That's why I was like, what?
yeah. Is she a mod? Can one of the mods drop a link for that? If you can find it. And then I'll put it in the description afterwards.
Ooh, Hakuna Matata, you have fun with that. Baby ripped her diaper off.
Oh no.
Hopefully it wasn't loaded.
So Carrie, do you have any questions?
No, I didn't have any questions. I think Shannon answered a lot of them last time she was up.
Yeah. Let's see. No, she didn't go to the doctor. So she didn't have insurance. Did the kids have insurance?
I don't know. They
'Cause I
may have
know-
had Medicaid because a lot of kids, you know, if they're under 18, they automatically qualify for Medicaid. I know they do here in North Carolina.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
it depends-
that where
it depends
I
on-
am, if the kids have it, the parents have it too. So I didn't know if that was like a thing in Tennessee. I know that every state is different. So
Yeah, in North Carolina, you don't because I guess the income is different. I know one time I was at work and I had gotten a letter, something about that I had signed up for some kind of services and I had to call them. And, you know, I said, listen, I said, my husband and I, you know, at that point we were making almost 100,000 a year together. And I said, I didn't sign up for anything. And she said, you know, I don't know how your names are in our system. And my oldest son used to get SSI because he was born with a half a heart. And they deemed him no longer disabled and said that he can work. So I'm thinking that that's how our information got in the system because they have to know everything about our income in the household. But I did ask her and I said, you know, what is the threshold for Medicaid for the kid? And she said, well, you make way too much for yourself. She says, I can always run it for the kids because you have to make, you know, a certain amount, but it's easier to get it for the kids. So it's a different income range for the children here anyway
yeah.
than it is for the adults.
Do they talk to the boys?
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Let's see if there's another question. Was Robin invited over to take a picture with Benny, or was she already there?
She came over because she's helping paint Summer's room.
Oh,
And we had
okay.
all just got done saying a prayer together, and she just said, let's take a picture. And she took a picture of just her and I together, and then she took a picture of all of us. She actually had to take about 6 of them because nobody could get their face straight.
Now, are they
Cameron,
finished?
there's the link for the WJHL where Dawn talks about the protesters.
Okay, I got it. All right. What was I gonna say? Oh, are they finishing the basement?
They're planning on putting flooring down, more different flooring down, and they're just painting the walls.
Now, is there sheetrock? I don't remember. Is there sheetrock or is it just like stone wall down there?
It's cinder blocks, painted and sealed cinder blocks.
Okay. I think yes, he was Hakuna. Okay. Does Candus expect to see Summer again? Does she talk about future plans?
She does. She still buys her toys and clothing. She's got a whole brand new bed for her. She refinished a dresser for her and made it pink and purple. She bought, Christmas presents and things for her too. And brand new bedding set.
And everything's down in the bedroom. All the presents and everything.
The presents are still upstairs just because they are painting.
Oh, okay. What is Cam and Allie's role?
Just all I know is what you can see that's on YouTube. I mean, they're just people that happened upon them and then decided they wanted to do what they could to help, as far as I know. I mean, I met them up there, but, I didn't ask them any questions.
I think you answered this question last time. You did sign the disclosure, right?
Yes. Anybody that goes up there has to sign an NDA, and it's so that you don't take pictures or videos while you're up there and exploit Summer.
Okay. Oh, I wanted to ask this before. Could he sue them for lost wages? Do you know if he was under the table or if he was on the books? Do you know that?
I don't know how he was paid. I mean, a lot of jobs like that I've seen around here are usually under the table or they're contracted. If he is paying child support for the boys. So if he's paying child support, then that would tell me that it's a reportable income, which means he's not paid under the table.
Okay. So he might be able to do that. I'm sure he knows, what he can and can't do. Are they doing the assignments on their CPS case plan?
I don't know what the assignments are. I just know that they had said something about the stairs. And in the new addition to the house, there was some uncovered light switches, and they need to have that fixed too. Okay. Yeah, and I know they still have parental rights. So that tells me that, they were probably given a case plan. So
do you know if Jody Sue babysat Summer?
Donnie said they did not.
Okay. That's what I thought I heard, but I didn't want to answer this question without knowing. Okay.
I made sure to ask them certain questions that I had seen online, so that way I know the answer to them. So that's
and you're doing a great job, and I know, Candus is very cautious with who she talks to. So,
yeah,
I told you before.
And I let her know. I relay to her everything that I say to people, so that way she knows what I've said.
Definitely. And like I said before, if she feels comfortable coming on here, I can open the platform for her, I can open the panel for her. I'll make sure that, odds are in here so nobody talks crap, but that's up to her. And I know how, she's uncomfortable. So,
well, I did talk to her about it last time, and she said the only person she goes on is Benny's.
Yeah.
She trusts Benny.
Yeah, that's understandable. How long are CPS going to be involved? Isn't there a certain amount of time that they are involved? Like, I think he means before they put them into like foster care or adoption. Isn't there a certain amount of time?
I think it depends on the state.
2 years. Most states it's like 2 years. The case plan's usually a year. 6 months is if you don't do anything in the first 6 months, they can kind of shorten the time, but it's usually about 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, when I lived in New York, my ex's sister lost her kids due to drugs, and after 3 years, they were adopted out to a military family and moved to Texas. So if it's the same here, in Tennessee, then you know, but I would think that it's probably case by case basis too on certain things.
Yeah. I think out here, I think it's 2 years out here too. So
So
I don't know.
Chronicles of Olivia posted a video 41 minutes ago, and in the thumbnail, it makes it look like the title of it is Don and Candus shoot a flare at us. And they make it look like the flare is right there. It's lit up like it's fire. You know, like, come on, y'all. This is getting
that's
to be
a Googled picture.
It's over the top crazy. They have done nothing. They have not done anything that has swayed anybody towards whatever they're in their head. They're thinking we're going to go down there and everybody is going to love it because we're standing up to the sympathizers and blah, blah, blah. No, all you all did was make people have more sympathy for them. That's all you did, because you look worse than them. You look worse.
Well, if you watch Alicia's channel, she had asked her chat, you know, put a 1 in the chat if you used to be a Molly Golightly follower. Put a 2 in the chat if you used to be sub to her. Put a 3 in the chat if you used to be a member or her Patreon. And there was all kinds of people in there saying that they used to be and they left.
Yeah. And didn't she used to be friends with her as well, or acquaintance?
Yeah. For 2 years.
Yep. So Jody Sue posted a text where Candus asked her to watch The Boys. I think prior to Summer disappeared. Did she say if she was going to watch them or not? BB Diamond? Like, was there a response? Because everyone I have talked to has said that Candus said that she's never watched her kids. Maybe she asked and, you know, Jody Sue said no, or I'll keep an ear out or something like that, but I don't think she's ever watched them.
Jody Sue did say one time that she said she watched them one time.
Yeah, that's what somebody was saying, but from everyone that I've talked to, Candus has said no, that she's never watched the kids. That's why I'm thinking maybe she asked, and, you know, Jody Sue said she asked me to watch the kids, but it never happened or something like that.
Maybe it was just kind of like, I'm going out to the store right quick. Will you watch the, you know, make sure nobody goes up there?
Keep an eye out. Yeah. Can you ask Shannon?
You see what Lady CG said?
No, I didn't find it. I can't find it.
She said, I live near MGL. No one likes her.
This one says, can the road be seen at the end of the driveway from the yard?
No, you have to go up the driveway and then it fans to the right and you go up and around the side of the house. The house is way too far offset and there's too many trees in the way.
Yep. Yeah, somebody, I think it was Don's video. He drove up there and you can
you hit it right.
Yeah, and it was so steep, like you were just looking at the sky. It's crazy. Did you get your car up there?
Ridiculous. The first car I took, no. I took my SUV this time and it went up there, surprisingly.
Wow. It's Alicia Claire. Alicia Claire. She does really good.
Her and Molly had hung out in Las Vegas at one point, and then Molly turned on her.
Yeah, I was watching her bash sesh the other day, and I was like, "You are the most graceful basher I've ever heard." Like, it was so classy, but it was, and it was a bash session, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, no, any of the other ones can learn how to do that.
Yeah,
you gotta watch Burnt Toast. Burnt Toast supposedly did a really good live tonight. Hakuna was even saying she was in there on Betty and her long criminal record, and I can't wait to watch it. I love Burnt Toast.
Yeah, I have to check that out. I hear good things.
Good. So good. I'm gonna jump down, y'all. Thank you for having me up, J. Marie. It was nice talking to you, Shannon. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
You too. Thank you.
I'll be down in chat. Bye, guys.
Bye. Here's a question. Why didn't she have Summer all that when she was there for the 5 years? She know those kids are never coming back. I don't think that was a question. I think it was more of a comment. Let's see.
Yeah, I think that was the lady that was asking me last time all kinds of crazy questions.
Yeah. Let's see. Apparently, Jody Sue replied late, and Candus said she needed her to watch the boys, but she was already on her way back home. Yeah, so I guess she didn't watch them that day.
Well, Jody Sue didn't say nice things about kids on a few of her lives.
Yeah, I don't.
Mean,
yeah.
She said that if any kids came onto her, I mean, she said a lot of nasty things about other people's children. She said she likes hers, but other people's children are different.
So maybe
She
that's
would
why
shake
she
them to death.
replied late. You know, she was like, "No, I'm not watching those kids." You know. So okay, I thought Robin was supposed to babysit. She said it in an interview. Yeah, I think Robin was supposed to, but then she had like a dance recital or something to go to that day with her daughter. So she wasn't able to babysit that day. Southern Sassy. That's a lie. What's a lie? Okay. Did Shannon say Don and Candus are sober now?
I didn't see any alcohol use or drug use.
Yeah, she didn't see it. So, you know, from her point of view, yeah, they're sober. The private, who pays the private investigators, the PIs?
They're doing it pro bono. The private investigator told me at one point back in December that they've already put $10,000 of their savings into this case, and they're not getting anything back. And I said, well, can't we see about possibly, you know, all these YouTubers get all this money donated and everything. Can't we see about setting up something for you guys? And she said, we don't want that because it takes away from the reason for the case, the reason for them doing this case.
Yeah, and I think somebody had done that one other time, and they got a lot of shit for it.
Yeah, they're very, very down-to-earth people. They never knew Candus and Don or any of them prior to any of this. They caught wind of it because somebody asked them to cover it. They contacted the family and said, you know, they gave them their credentials and said, this is what we want to do for you. And, you know, here they are. And again, I'll say it's not Benny.
Okay. Are Don and Candus struggling financially?
Not that they've told me of. I mean, they may be now, but
yeah,
you know, prior to the shenanigans today, not that I was aware of. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of bills, you know. They don't. I mean, they just have power. They have well water. Their taxes on their property is fairly cheap, and then they've got the car payment, insurance, and their cell phones are prepaid.
Yeah, so they have like their essentials. Yeah, she still has the Subaru. She was driving it today. Yeah, because wasn't Don saying something about the payments lapsed on it or something, and it was going to be taken?
Not that I know of. I know he was telling people that he has a $600 a month payment on that.
Yeah,
but I don't recall hearing it.
Yeah, I forgot where I heard that, but I guess he had said that they were going to be taking it away, unless he was just saying that. I think that's it for the questions. So we've been up here 3 hours. So I'm probably going to end the live. Is there anything else that we haven't asked you that you feel that we need to know? Or does Candus have any messages that she wants to send out to anybody?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
My little one killed my phone, and I haven't put it on the charger yet, so I'm not able to call her.
Aw, that's okay. You know, like I said, you're welcome here anytime. You want to pop in, or, you know, just to say hi or discuss the case or whatever. And like I said, I'll allow Candus to come if she's comfortable, when she's comfortable, if, you know, whatever she wants to do. So yeah, so everybody's saying thank you.
Yep,
And
it
No
was
problem.
great talking to you, J. Marie and Shannon again.
yeah, you too. And thank you so much, Shannon, for coming up.
No problem.
It's always a pleasure.
I don't know how much light I can shed on it, but
I know.
I figured if I can at least put some of the rumors, dispel some of the rumors, I
Yeah.
have no reason to lie.
And that's why I like listening to you, because you're like I am on the fence. You don't know what happened, but you're not judging them and you're helping them. And I mean, that's all you really can do. And I mean, I
Yeah.
commend you. You know, if you know anything, you go to TBI and
Absolutely.
not run your mouth everywhere and start stuff. So
Exactly. I mean,
I
I'm
think
not going
that's
to say,
respectable.
and I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that if I knew something shitty about them that I would come to YouTube about it, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
I'm not going to fake the good things.
Mhm.
If I knew something, I would go to TBI like you said, but other than
Yeah.
that, nobody needs to spread rumors because God forbid anybody else, that's on YouTube ever be in a situation where they need help and it ends up all over YouTube and even, when they had their last
Amen.
bowel movement, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Amen. And I respect you a lot for that. I do. Because I feel like I'm getting the truth and you can't get that anywhere else, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
I just wish some of these people would feel shame for what they've done.
Ugh, one day, maybe. One day, hopefully.
When
We
they
have
eat their foot.
one more question. How do you feel about Dudley? Like,
I don't
what's
really know
your
much about
feeling?
Dudley. I really
What's,
didn't. I didn't ask anything about him.
from what you've heard in the interviews, what do you think about that? Do you think he's lying? Do you think he's telling the truth, or you just have no idea?
Well, the one thing I laughed about was the fact that Bullhorn, if that's what you want to call her, paid for dinner, and he knew that. And the first thing he did was ordered sushi. I commend him for that. I don't really know. I mean, I knew that the Subaru was still there, but anything other than that, I don't know anything about it. I don't know about the writings that were on the wall in the house. I don't know about the missing
Yeah.
mud, and they
Yeah.
haven't released the full interview with him yet. We only saw a portion of it. I
Right.
haven't really asked about him because I've not really been around Don that much. So,
Right.
and Candus doesn't really know too much about the people he works with either.
Yeah. I mean, there is a couple interviews if you want to check them out. I think Sweetie Pie Low did an exclusive interview with him and Jay for Justice. So if you want to
Two of
check
them that
those,
I don't watch, so
yeah,
I'll look into it, but I don't. I don't
yeah,
know.
they're
Certain
actually
things that I've seen
really,
put out by them, I don't really respect too much of.
yeah, they're actually really good channels. I watched
Jay
them.
for Justice has a really good interview with him. I think it was
Yeah,
even better than Sweetie Pie Lowe's.
yeah,
Yeah.
she has a really good interview. So, and it's probably going to be pretty much the same thing. Like once Olivia's video comes out, it's probably just going to be the same thing.
Hey, if he keeps getting free sushi, he's going to go on everybody's channels.
I'll go free sushi. I just won't say I'll say anything, but I'll go on anybody's channel for free sushi.
Right?
I've actually talked to his wife, and we were supposed to do an interview a couple weeks ago, and they backed out. And that was when the whole thing was going on with Molly and Bullhorn Betty and everything. And then he ended up just going to Sweetie Pie Low.
Well, now you know the key to his heart.
Yeah. I'll buy you some sushi.
Give him a gift card for like Nona's or something.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't know if they're paying him or if they're just buying him lunch or whatever, but I think if you have to pay somebody to do an interview, it's not worth it,
Right. And she's been
Because-
paying everybody. She, the last time she went to Allie and Sherry or whatever their name's house is, Hunter's
Mhm.
mom, she took whatever money she had in her wallet and gave it to him. And this time she bought them a gift card.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the credibility
Dudley-
there plays a big role.
Right. Like Joy said, Dudley is not the problem. Like I agree. I don't think he has anything to do with this. I think he's just, telling what he knows and that's it.
He's not on my
And-
radar.
No, not at all. I don't think he has anything to do with it at all. I think he's just a little pissed off at Don and he's venting,
We've all had a coworker that, you just wanted to poke in the eye.
Exactly. So, all right, guys, I'm going to close out this live. I hope everybody has a good night. And thank you again, Shannon, for coming up.
problem.
Thank you, Carrie. And
Thank
hopefully in a couple days, you know, we'll do another live. If you guys want to pop in again, you're more than welcome. Okay.
All right,
Okey
sounds
doke.
good.
Have a good
Good
night.
night.
All right. You too. Bye, guys. All right, bye, guys. Love you.